Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. We're live. It's Manchester United versus Astana in Kazakhstan. It's minus 20 degrees. We got the youth out there playing. That's the team we're playing. I think we pretty much predicted it yesterday, didn't we, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer put out his team news for the, well, he said who was going to be making their debuts. So you've got Ethan Laird, you've got Deshaun Bernard, Dylan Levitt, and I think that's it, isn't it? I think in relation to their debuts, that's who we've got making their actual debuts. So yeah, I'm excited to see this game. I don't know about you lot. It's a novelty game as well. It's a novelty game as well because of the timing of the game. So interested to see how that's going to go for us. But smash a like on the video for the United youth. I think it's going to be a good game. You know, I want to say from the very start that a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to get off from work or school to see that in the UK. And happy Thanksgiving to all our American crew. Don't know whether you'll be watching it. If you are, happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend in the America. But look, I don't see the negativity. I'm very positive. A lot of these young lads will probably never play for United, but we can dream. And also, it's very rare that you have a positive feeling going into a United game with no pressure. It's a free hit. And Astana only lost 1-0 to us at Old Trafford against our best side. So I'm quite relaxed about this game. Look, the big games are Villa, Spurs and City. 3 games in 6 days starting on Sunday. That is what it's all about, and I think we all know it. So tonight or this evening or this afternoon or this morning or wherever you are, it's very exciting to see how we're going to do in the game. What I would say is that if you're Solskjaer out or you're Solskjaer in, today is not really about that. We could get beat 4-0 and it wouldn't really matter. Hello Mark, happy Thanksgiving, love from USA, says Amith Hegdi. Thank you very much. If you want to get your super chats in, you can do that through the dollar emoji at the bottom of the live comments. We'll be reading those out for you. But thanks everyone who's joining us for it. I know it's a little bit of an odd kick-off time. But as Flex said, Flex out there in Kazakhstan. And I think he's having a great time, even though it's a massive, massive flight over there. He's really having a good time with Josh, and they've put some good content up, which I know a lot of you have been watching on the channel. It's snow. I said, look, what are you moaning about it being cold? Why are you moaning about it being cold? It's like it's Christmas weekend this weekend, and you've had a taste of it with all the snow. That's the only snow you're going to get this Christmas, because in the UK, all you get is rain. Anyway, so yeah, look, let's see how these youngsters do. I'll tell you who I'm excited about the most. And do you think the team will look up to Lingard? Says Not an Idiot. Well, Jesse Lingard, captain, totally deserves it, doesn't he? Last 18 months, he's been so consistent, and he plays like a leader every game. I'm being very sarcastic there. With regards to Lingard, I think whatever he does today won't be enough, and that's my opinion as well. It's not about playing with a load of teenagers and being a leader. It's about performing in a United shirt consistently, and he hasn't done that. So if today can be a step to something, then great. But it's not really about Lingard for me. I'm really excited to see Greenwood, Gomez, Chong and Garner and Twansebi, because they are youth, but they are experienced youth today. They're the people that people like Levitt and Laird and Bernard will be looking up to. And of course you've got Luke Shaw and Lingard and Grant for some experience in there as well. But yeah, I've not given up on Chong. I know a lot of you have. I've not given up on Chong. I think Greenwood's got a great future, Gomez, but I'm under no illusions that this game today is going to be very, very difficult. Astana are not playing their youth. They're not going to do that because, as far as I'm aware, I think Astana are still a team that will want, you know, it's a massive game for them. Manchester United's a massive, massive game for them. So they will be going out there to try and get a result. And to be honest with you, they probably are the favourites. I mean, Ollie's predicting a tight game, but it was a tight game when we put our best team out at Old Trafford. So in Astana on an artificial pitch, which I think was another reason Ollie didn't take a lot of the senior players, in cold conditions with a team that's got very little experience in it, I'd say United are underdogs, which is why I'm very excited about it, because as a one-off game that some people would say it doesn't mean anything, but these youngsters are going to get a real test, and we're going to really understand a lot about them. And you know, I think in relation to a Garner and a Twansebi and maybe a Greenwood or a Gomez or a Chong, if they can put in a good performance tonight, it does bode well for them in the future because they have been playing for the first team. Happy Thanksgiving from New York, Born United, says P Off Guy. Thank you very much. I must just say as well, let me just get this correct. I need to get this correct. I am wearing a jumper. as many of you will know, but I'm wearing a United stand Christmas jumper, which says 5 Cantonars on it, and then we've got 5 Cantonars on it. There's some seagulls, there's some Christmas holly, there's some there's a bit of snow there, and some pitchforks. Very United themed. It's the famous Manchester United chant at Christmas, Eric Cantona. But I just want to tell you that we've been given our last order deliveries. Now, order them now. The link's in the video description. You can get them for your Christmas party. You can wear them over Christmas. But let me just tell you this. If you are wanting it and you live in Australia, Canada, New Zealand or America, you need to get them ordered today, because tomorrow is the last date where you'll get guaranteed delivered before Christmas. In all non-European, that's all non-European countries except Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and America. You need to be ordering it today or tomorrow. It's Friday the 6th of December if you live in Zone 3, which is Australia, Austria, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Latvia, Malta, New Zealand, Portugal, USA. Tuesday the 10th of December for European countries outside Royal Mail, any European country not listed above. And then Thursday the 12th of December for Belgium, France, Croatia, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Spain. And then Monday the 16th for UK only. My suggestion is get it ordered early, get it ordered today, because no matter where you are, you've got it for the month of December then, haven't you? So links in the video description for that. Get your 5 Cantonars jumpers. And if you do get one, can you please tag us or direct messages on Twitter, because we're happy to tweet them out. Do you think any of these players have a chance to play this season other than Greenwood, or is Ollie just using this game to placate the fans? Big up, Mark. I don't think... Twan Sebi definitely, I think, would be playing first-team football right now if it wasn't for the injury that he got. So Twan Sebi is definitely one. Lingard's a youth player that's playing a lot, and I'm going to get quit with those jokes. Greenwood, obviously, is a player that's making a big difference. He came on and he scored the other day. The rest of them, I think Gomez and Chong and Garner are players that are getting on the bench quite consistently, and if they were to put in a really mature performance today, it would give them a chance. I don't really think Ethan Laird, Deschamps Bernard, Dylan Levitt maybe because of where he plays in the midfield, but a lot of these lads probably need loans. I think Gomez and Chong should have gone on loan, but today is a brilliant opportunity, and I get bored of saying brilliant opportunity myself, but the way things have gone, it's perfect. Solskjaer's had a bad season in many ways, but in the cup competitions, it's been good. Look at what happened to against Chelsea. Everyone thought we would lose. Europa League, we've not conceded any goals and we've qualified after 4 games. No one really predicted that. So we've been a bit lucky in those games, but the cup competitions have been a lot kinder to us than the league. So we've had this series of events that have enabled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going into a huge week. And I don't think enough has been stated about this. It is a huge week for Manchester United because Villa Sunday, Spurs Wednesday, Man City Saturday. Massive week for United. And imagine if we had lost to Alkmaar or drawn in Partizan Belgrade, then we would have had to bring a stronger team here today, which is a massive flight. You get back tomorrow, you're then playing on Sunday against the fresh Aston Villa. The way this has worked and allowed him to leave his first team at home to rest while he takes a load of youngsters out to play a very competitive game, I think it's a great series of events for United and as United fans as well, because we do get to see these young lads playing in a very competitive atmosphere. Score prediction, says Sean Gould. Very difficult to predict. I'm going on Astana, the one time I saw them against United, and I thought they were poor, but we still had a lot of our good players out there. I think these young lads, what I would say about youth is this. 1, talent is great, but 2, physically, a lot of them aren't ready for this. So it's men against boys. It literally is. So I think my prediction is that United will lose. I think United might lose 2-1 or 1-0. And I don't say that I won't be there on my match reaction going, oh, these are twats. These players are useless. I'm sure there'll be some people on social media having a pop at Chong or Gomez or something if we lose, which I think is ridiculous for young players. But it's not about that. If they win or get a draw, that is a momentous result. So I'm excited. Can Ollie become a great manager? If so, who would you relate his greatness to, says Ricky916. Anything is possible. I could be the next Gary Lineker presenting Match of the Day. It's not going to happen, just the same as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be the next Sir Alex Ferguson. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, at best, will be the manager that rebuilds United. I think at best, he'll get 2 or 3 years, and then they'll go, your job is done, you've brought some players through, you've brought some stability, it's time to go. I don't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer winning a Premier League title with United. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, and because people are constantly saying to me, why are you not Ole out, why are you not Ole out? So I thought, look, we do the United stand, it's all about everyone's opinions, but I've got to really have a think about this myself. And what do I really think is going to happen? And I think best case scenario with Solskjaer is he'll stay for 3 years, he'll bring some stability, and then he'll hit a ceiling. Some would say he's already hit a ceiling. I don't see him becoming a great manager. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does. But look at Cardiff, look at United. There's consistently things there from his Cardiff time and his United time, and there's years apart, and he's doing the same sort of thing. So he'd have to change a lot to become a great manager, in my opinion. But for now, let's see. Dib Issa says, Mark, opinion on Sancho. Could he play in Europa League if we get him in January? You know what? With regards to Sancho, I think it's quite interesting. I don't see him coming to United in January, but it might be United's best opportunity to get Sancho in January, because if we wait till the summer, we may not have Champions League football, which would put us out of that race. If we got him in January and said, look, we could win the Europa League, that might be the opportunity to get him, if that makes sense. Ross McGivern says, hi Mark, it's my birthday tomorrow. Can I get a shout out? Watching United in Baton Rouge with the American in-laws. Happy birthday for tomorrow, mate, and happy Thanksgiving to the in-laws, and I hope you have a good birthday tomorrow. Everyone putting up their Christmas tree this weekend? This is Christmas, proper Christmas this weekend. December the 1st on Sunday, so you can get your tree up. I've put my lights up outside already. I've not put them on yet, I've just put them out because I had a couple of weird game today, so it gave me a bit of time this morning, so I thought I'm going to do a couple of jobs. Not poos. Some people call a poo a job. Jemsk110 says, Mark, do you want Haaland to score and kick Liverpool out of the Champions League, or coming to United in January? What would you prefer? I don't think he's going to knock Liverpool out of the Champions League, so would I take him at United in January? Yes. And Ross Gallagher says, really looking forward to seeing this team play, especially that young lad Lingard. He's got a great future. All the sarcasm's going to be around there today. Please do smash a like on the video, everyone. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes quite quickly. Also, can you please subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner? We are going to try and get up to, what are we on at the moment? Is it 585? We're going to try and get to 585 today, so we're going to set ourselves a little bit of a challenge, and I can tell you what, we are on 584 500 at the moment. We're on 584 500 at the moment, so 500 subscribers whilst we're live, and with that number on the top left will change to 585. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you have subscribed, share it. Share the joy. I think we're going to have a good stream today. Very rare that we come into these sort of things with positivity. Ashwan Thomas says the squad is out. We know. That's that thing on the left. That's the team. So the team is Grant in gold, Ethan Laird at right back, Ethan Laird at right back. People keep telling me because it's Laird. Ethan Laird at right back. We've got Twan Sebi and Deshane Bernard at centre back. We've got Luke Shaw at left back. We've got Garner and Levitt. Really looking forward to seeing those two as our midfield. Bloody hell, two young lads running the midfield for Manchester United. Lingard ahead of them, and a front three of Greenwood, Gomez and Chong. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how it's going to go. Why is playing Gomez out? Why is he playing Gomez out of position? Says Roberto. Well, he might not. He might not. You might see. You might see Gomez play centrally, and Lingard. I mean, that's only a prediction of what we're going to do. Congratulations on the correct squad prediction, Mark, says Viskan Sundarism. Yeah, we did the preview on Tuesday, didn't we? And we picked this team. This was 24 hours before Ollie's press conference. You see, Flex is in the press conference. I get the correct team 24 hours before. There's something going on there, isn't there? United stand getting leaks from the official team. But look, whether you think it's a leak or not, the reality is we picked every single player for the game on Tuesday. Some would say it was luck. Some would say it was prediction, a good prediction. But for me, the reason I really picked that team is that if you look at it, Ethan Laird was always going to play at right back. Out of the two centre-backs, Deshane Bernard is the more experienced one, so I thought he would go with him. Dylan Levitt or Ethan Galbraith as midfield. Again, Levitt's just ahead of him at the moment. And then, obviously, Garner was going to play in Lingard. So it wasn't actually that hard to pick it out, if I'm absolutely honest with you. Danny Davis says, Ethan Laird is a beast. I can't wait. I've been talking about him for a few years. it's hard to know with United because we've got young players that have always been at the club, and then we've got young players that we've been buying when they've been like 14, 15, 16. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't researched this. I think Ethan Laird we got from Charlton when he was about 16. But he's good. He's good. Well, look, actually, you know what? Let's cut the crap here. I've always said this, and I'm going to be consistent. All these people who are obsessed with the youth. Oh, I watch the youth go for a shit. I've watched every minute. I'm a better United fan than you. Some people like myself make a different decision with the youth. I keep an eye on the youth, but I don't spend that much time watching the youth. And I've learnt my experience here because I used to, on MUTV, watch the youth quite regularly. And then what I found is a lot of these players in the youth who are going to be stars of the future don't. If you look at United, since the class of 92, which was in 92, how many top players have we produced for the first team? Hardly any. Virtually none. Really, you would argue Darren Fletcher, John O'Shea, Wes Brown, obviously, Kieran Richardson. I mean, and Rashford. So maybe 4 or 5 in the last 20 odd years. So we don't, just because somebody's good in the youth doesn't mean they're going to be good for the first team. So what I like to do is I'll keep an eye on the youth. I'll hear and keep an eye on names. I've been talking about Alua Traore that we got in again at 16 from PSG. I think he's got great potential. Little bit disappointed he's not here, but probably may not be ready. Pogba. Well, Pogba's not really a player that's come through the youth, is he, Tyrone Amuni? But let me come back to that. But what my feeling with the youth is this, is that, yeah, let's hear about them, like we have with Greenwood and Rashford and Pogba and everyone over the years. But until they start doing what they're doing today, it doesn't really matter what they do in the youth, because youth football and first team football are miles apart. It's like, when you're a kid, I used to get this, you're brilliant at your age group. Like when I was playing under 13s, I was pretty good. There was 2 or 3 of us that were good. So the school got us to play for the year above. Oh, fuck it. It's like being a League One player and playing in the Champions League. It's just totally different. And this is what these young players have got. It's the biggest challenge in your football career to go from the youth setup into the first team, because the step up in quality and physicality is huge, and you almost have to learn how to play again with the talent that you've got, and you have to adjust. It doesn't matter how good you are as a young player, you may not make it in first team football, because it's about the speed, the physicality and adjustment. And this is what we're going to see with some of these players. For everybody saying Pogba came from the youth, he did. We bought him in from France, didn't we, when he was about 14? But does Pogba really count as United youth? I've always wondered what people think about this. Does Pogba count as United youth? Because he was from our youth, but we sold him before he really came into the team, and then we bought him back for 90 million. Technically, he's from the youth, but he is a youth player, actually, isn't he? He's definitely a youth player, but did we make him what he is? Would he have become the player? I think he would have done. Prime Barca or United's 2008 team, says Jay Singh. I think it'd be closer than people think. Talking youth and no mention of Lingard. Shame on you, says Alligator. Yeah, but I said, name me a player that's come through the youth setup in the last 20 years that's good. Lingard's come through the youth setup. I don't think he's good. And I mentioned the class of 92, didn't I? So tonight's not about result, just excited about the kids. Maybe 1 or 2 become first team regulars in the coming future, or at least good subs, says Abanaf Ray. Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. I also wanted to say this as well, with regards to this story that's been floating around with Luke Shaw, and apparently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has told Luke Shaw that Brandon Williams is now number 1. Well, what do you think about that? Do you really think that is? Do you think that that's a good thing for Ole to? I just don't think there's any truth in that. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said to Luke Shaw that you are now second in command to Brandon Williams, and he's the number 1. I like Brandon Williams, and I think he's got great potential, but I've been watching football for a very long time, and there's no way Brandon Williams is ready to play 38 games this season. He's not. He actually played badly at the weekend and got a great goal, but he's a young player. Like, it's a bit like saying to Martial, you're second in command to Greenwood, or saying to Fred, you're second in command to Garner. I've got no problem with Greenwood being our striker. I've got no problem with Brandon Williams being our left back, or Garner being our midfielder. But what I do have a problem with is that they're not ready to play every single game. And this is the idiocy of that article and why I don't believe it. Because I grew up with the class of 92. David Beckham didn't get in the team and play every week. Scholes didn't get in the team and play every week. Butt didn't get in the team and play every week. Giggs probably did, actually. Gary Neville didn't. They came in, they came out, they came in, they came out. It was gradual development because young players are inconsistent. That's what I want to see with Brandon Williams. I want to see Luke Shaw and him sharing the role, and then in a year, Brandon Williams becomes our left back. But to chuck him in now, I think it will backfire big time. Nyagan says, you're spot on, Mark. The step up between youth team and first team. United youth have not been doing well in the first team. Hope it changes this year. I think this set of young players is the most exciting set of young players that we've had for a very long time. And I'm hopeful that we will get some really good players coming through from this current set. I think it's the most exciting. I think the recruitment around the youth has been good. We just need to keep pushing it and hoping that players can take the opportunity. Ollie likes 5-3-2 and Brandon Williams suits more at left wing back, says Abhinav Ray. Yeah, well, Ollie liking 5-3-2 will get him the sack, mate. I mean, that 5-3-2 formation should never be used again. It's shockingly bad. And we've used it 4 times. In 3.5 games, we've been the worst we've been all season. So he needs to bin that off. He needs to bin that off quick, because I just do not like that formation. I don't know about you lot, but I can't stand it. Niman says that I'd keep Shaw in for the moment because he needs to be doing more. Brandon Williams. I don't think Brandon Williams can do much more. I think he's been absolutely superb. I just think it's about development and youth. And I don't want to, he will make mistakes. That's what's going to happen. That's what happens when you're a youth player. But I really like him. I think he's great. I hope we see Ramazani tonight, says Vinayak. Well, let's just have a quick look at the bench. I mean, the bench will be what we know the bench to be anyway. I would hope. I hope. So we've got Kovar, the goalkeeper. Mengi is a centre-back. Max Taylor, the defender. Galbraith is a midfielder. Pigmal is a midfielder. Mella and Ramazzini. So I think everybody who's travelled has been involved. I can't think of anybody who's travelled that's not been involved. So that's good. Ramazzini and Mella are attackers. Pigmal and Galbraith are midfielders. Taylor and Mengi are defenders, and Kovar is a goalkeeper. So that's the bench for you. Obviously, there's no experience there. I agree 5-3-2 is crap. Our centre-backs look clueless, says Abhinav Ray. I just think it confuses the team. United for 2020, says Pamanda Dillon. And Zayn Mayasi says, Mark, if Ollie loses, if Ollie loses, he should just stay there for a long holiday and Emery can join him. Laurel and Hardy all the way. I mean, look, what is your score predictions? Get in the live comments. What is your score predictions for this game today? Because I don't think we are going to see... I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Zayn makes a good point there, because what I would like to say is this. The scenario with Manchester United, let me just paint this scenario for you then. If we were to lose today, right, there will be no blame attached to the kids, the United youth, none at all, and there should not be. But if we lose today because technically, tactically we're a mess again, that does reflect on Manchester United, and that does reflect on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think we've got to keep an eye out on that, if I'm honest with you. A lot of people are saying 5-0 and 4-0 to United. How? I hope so. I hope so. I really do hope we win 4 or 5-0. But I just would say this. Remember that we didn't beat... what am I doing here? We only beat this team 1-0 at Old Trafford. So to say, oh, we're going to go and smash them, I think would be a little bit premature, to be honest with you. Mate has put 500 quid on 2-1 to FC Astana. He will donate 2.1% to United Stand if he gets the win, says Geraldo Stemfly. Well, I tell you what, if that happens, donate it to charity because we don't need the money. 6-0 to United, Greenwood hat-trick and Ethan Laird, masterclass incoming mark. Keep the faith in the youth, says Jay Singh. I'll tell you what, I'm very happy if that happens. Very happy indeed. I hope that is what happens. And they have no points. We're at the top of the group. Easy win for our youngsters, says Must9 Gameplays. Is anyone going to tell Must9 Gameplays that we're basically playing Manchester United youth today? We're not. Top of the group means absolutely nothing. And Neogan says, Mark, hypothetically, if we get the new owner by the end of this season, but Ollie does not get top 6 this season, do you think he has to be replaced by Poch? So if we get new owners and then Ollie does not get... Look, the thing about new owners is that they have got no... Well, if you've got a new owner at United, which I don't think we will, it's their football club. They don't have to keep a manager. They can come in and do what they want to do, and a lot of people do that. So I don't know. I mean, United have got to start to perform a lot better, and so has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't he? I think that is not in doubt. So let's see how we go on that one. Top of the group, your opponents in the next round are from second place, says M. Shah. Yeah, so we'd be looking at... well, no, not necessarily, because teams like Inter Milan will drop down, won't they? So that's not necessarily going to be the case. Okay. Do you think Ollie would bring Taylor on, says JJ Fagan? So Max Taylor is the player who a year ago was having chemotherapy. So I think 100%, there's a nice football story to be had here where football hits sentimentality and real life. And I think that he will be brought on in this game. Yeah, 100% I think we'll see Max Taylor. Because it's a journey, isn't it? And you don't often get an opportunity in football to do that. And whether we're winning or we're losing, I think he should be brought on because you don't often get that sort of an opportunity to do that. Lingard so bad he has to play with the youth, says YT Olo. And let me just... you can have I'm just stretching my back here, so you can have a good look at the United Stand 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper. The link is in the video description. Get yours. You will look brilliant this Christmas. You can get it in different colours. I've got it in navy blue. Personally, I think the green one would have looked nice, but I went with navy blue because there's a bit of green on one of the Cantonar tops there. So you've got the red Cantonar, the green and gold Cantonar, the black Cantonar, the grey Cantonar, and a different sort of red Cantonar there. But I do think the green one would actually work quite well. You could get red. I think it would work really well with red. So there are links in the video description, I think, if you want to get your Christmas jumper. They're available worldwide. Doesn't matter whether you're in America, India, Australia, wherever. They're available worldwide. Just get your orders in quick. Good jumper, says Dean Cedar. Thank you very much. And if you do get one, please do remember, the link is in the video description, which is great. Let me just click that myself. If you do get one, do tag us in on Twitter. And I'll tell you what, if you click the link on the video description, it's a proper nice website as well. And you can see that we've got 4 jumpers available. We've got the Christmas jumper, the United one, the Class of 92 one, and the Adored one, which you can get in all different colours, and our T-shirts as well. So good Christmas presents for you there. Get involved with that. We've got an amazing Christmas gift for you coming up just 3 days before Christmas. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not even going to hint at what it is. But it's absolutely for you lot. And I think you're going to really, really enjoy it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, says Contrail. Thank you. Well, it's not Thanksgiving for me, but thanks for the message for Happy Thanksgiving. And Mark, can you sing a United song for the youth, says Jay Singh. I don't sing on demand. I'm not a parrot. Mark, mind asking if anyone knows where they're showing it in America, says Manchester G. Have the tables turned? Have the tables turned where the Americans can watch the UK 3 o'clock kickoff and they're all smug and we can't? I'm only joking. I think it's ridiculous if you can't watch United play. I really do. But I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are with that. If anybody knows if you can watch it in America. Mark, I feel that Chong and Lingard are the ones to watch today as they've been terrible so far. They should put in a shift today to show their talents, says Nagan. I'm looking forward to seeing how well Chong does today. I've not given up on Chong, and I think a lot of people have, and I haven't. I think he's a cracking player, and I do hope that he does well. Just looking at the, you can if If you want to follow United Stand on Instagram, Flex on match day does loads of tours of Astana and stuff like that. The United Stand TV on Instagram we are, and he's got some proper good stuff on there. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on. Okay. It's playing up a little bit for me. We've had another couple of super chats. Spitfire Dubstep says, I'm Ollie in, but I think he could go in the next 3 Premier League games. If we draw to Villa, the pressure will be insane. We have Spurs and City. Could be draw or loss. I think we'll beat Villa, draw with Spurs, lose to City. 4 points from 9 is not really good enough, but it will be good enough to keep him in a job. Mark, how does it work regarding licensing with Eric Cantona using his name and image? Are deals like this hard to do, says Murray. Don't know, to be honest, because it's not actually us who prints the jumpers and everything like that. We are provided them by a third party, so my honest answer is I don't know. And also BR Live 10-month for Champions Leagues and Europa, says Michael Sauter. There you go, BR Live. It's on TUDN for USA watchers, says Phil Mann. And why does this feel... I don't know what you're on about. Ollie has taken... Ollie has to give a given time till the end of the season. Sacking him now would mean we didn't give a fair crack, says KP. I like that comment, KP, but I always have to come back on this and say, how can you say give him to the end of the season? Because he could sack himself. What if he loses the next 3 games? Are you going to say give him to the end of the season? What if he loses to Everton and Watford after that? What if he loses 5 Premier League games in a row? Are you going to say... in the middle of December, let's give him till May? He'll be sacked. You know, you sack yourself, don't you? So I know what you mean. Hypothetically, it would be nice to give him to the end of the season, but he's got to get the results to do that, surely. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we're trying to get to 585,000 today. So if you are new, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams. We're the only United website fan channel who's out in Astana. We're everywhere, and we got to ask a question of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the press conference yesterday. This channel is a fan channel for Manchester United fans, and we go everywhere, whether it's tour, Kazakhstan, whatever. That's what we do. You might disagree with some of the opinions, but that's what it's all about. It's opinions. And if you are new, you're going to love the channel. Bottom right-hand corner, subscribe. We've got previews, transfer news, asking people out on the streets. We've got a great video at the weekend, Asta. Xander on the street at talking about who's going to finish who above who outside Old Trafford, Mourinho or Ollie. Loads of content, fan cams. Subscribe if you're new. And if you have subscribed, please click the share button underneath and share it on Twitter and Facebook. Bleacher Report live, says 6782. Anthony have got it as well. Just got back from school. Come on United, says Andre Ribeiro. There'll be a lot of people getting in from school. Actually, it's that sort of time for this game, isn't it? Chong's no good, says Zanvik. And do you think today Gomez and Chong need to have a good game to have some game in our league fixture, says Pabio? I think Angel Gomez is such a favourite, isn't he? That he doesn't really get the criticism that maybe this season he's not really stepped up to the plate yet, has he? We saw him on the tour. Him and Chong on tour looked really good. Chong's had a lot of criticism, but Gomez hasn't really contributed yet as well. So I'm excited to, as I said, the exciting players for me are the players that actually can break into the first team this year if they have good games. So Twansebi, Garner, Gomez, Chong, Greenwood. Reckon any chance anyone here breaks into the first squad, says Aram Hekmat. I think it's probably too far off for a Dishon Bernard, who's a teenager, for an Ethan Laird, who's a teenager, for a Dylan Levitt. Maybe, because he is getting in the Welsh squad, so maybe there's an opportunity for him. But I don't know. Let's see. This is the exciting thing. Forerunner King says you can watch it in the US on the Bleacher Report stream. You've got to pay $2.99 for that, though. Oh, right, okay, so you've got to pay for that. You've got to pay for that. And do you think Ollie knows Lingard isn't a United player now and playing him to get him in the market, says Mark Robson? I don't think United will sell Lingard. I think any manager that comes in, because this is what we are as a football club, I think any manager that comes to United will be told you can't sell Lingard because he's too marketable. And I think that's very sad, but I think it's true. Is there a United stand subreddit, says Filthy Scrub? There isn't, but if you want to start one, we can back it. And Niagan says De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Harry, Victor, Luke, Fred, McTominay, Pogba, Rashi, Martial, James. Isn't this the 4-3-3 you think we should play week in, week out? And why doesn't Ollie? I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. And why are you always underrating Rashford? Ahmed Reve, why are you telling lies? Why are you telling lies? look. What I like about running fan channels is that people put agendas out that just are not true. Over the last 3 years, I've consistently said that my two favourite players at United are Martial and Rashford. Yet apparently I've got a Rashford agenda. What I have said about Rashford over the last 8 months is he's been crap. Because he has. Like, what do you want me to? Do you want me to be a Hazardista or a Martial FC member who I don't care that they've been crap. I'm just going to live up their arse. Like, Rashford's been crap for 8 months. Over the last month, he's been bloody brilliant again. I like Rashford. A lot of people have been critical about him, but I like Rashford. I do like Rashford. And Josh Sutton says, hey mate, missed a few vids, but congratulations on getting into the Astana presser. I loved Flex question. Ollie was dismissive. What do you think of the answer? So basically, we asked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and look, people were saying yesterday, you get a chance to ask this question of Ollie and you bottle it. And we're like, right, do you know how it works in a press conference? You are not allowed to ask a stupid question. So if Flex had even tried to say, you're shit, Ollie, how are you going to turn it around? He would have been kicked out. So, you either don't ask a question or you ask a question. So we asked him the question. United have been good in the Cups so far this season, not so good in the league. Do you think the Cups are now a priority? And Ollie said, common sense I suppose, that we can't win the league and we want to win something. So the Cups have become very important to us. Tahith Chung needs some love, not hate, says Sadel Khan. I agree with you on that one. Would you get... this is a good question from James. And I want to put this to the live comments as well. Would you rather get Tahith... Not Tahith Chung. Would you rather get... this is getting on my bloody tits. Would you rather get Timo Werner or Haaland? Tell me. Tell me what you'd rather do. Werner or Haaland? A lot of people are saying Werner. Yeah, I've got to say, for me, it would be Timo Werner. I like the look of Haaland, and I'm not going to turn my nose up at it, but for me, I would rather go with Werner. I think he's the better player. I think he's got the better upward curve, and yeah, I would rather go with him, if I'm absolutely honest with you. So there you go. Werner 100%, says David Fitzgibbon. Haaland because Werner wants Liverpool, says K. Aves. Well, you can't do that because of that. Well, maybe you can. Haaland works in a team system, says Eric. So I'd rather have Werner. He's the better individual. Haaland because we don't score headers, says Abra. And Haaland's got a higher ceiling, says Lou Garsing. I think Werner's got a higher ceiling, but it's all about opinion. He's proven in Europe's top 5 leagues, says Nishan Bokwal. Haaland, because Werner would want to start all the time, says Adarim Roman. It's a good point. That's a good point, to be fair. Haaland is a different type of option, says PTJ Gaming, which I think is a good point as well. Abahash Thakar says, Ollie plays counter-attacking. He knows Martial is only a striker. He has that reasons why club is linked with striker instead of centre midfielder. If we sign a striker instead of a centre midfielder, that just clears it. The style of play, it never changes. Thanks, Abalash. I mean, maybe try and confine it to a little bit less, because that just sounds like just a constant one sentence. But I get what you mean. He likes to play on the counter-attack, and he knows Martial is better in that. But we do need other options up top, definitely. We definitely do. I like this positivity that we're getting. James Villapandu says we're going to win 6-0. Remember, Manchester United only beat Astana 1-0 at Old Trafford with our best team. And we are away on an artificial pitch in minus 20 degrees with our under-23 team. So let's bear that in mind today. I think it's going to be difficult for United. I do, but doesn't mean we won't win it. I think if we do win it though, these youngsters will never forget it. Never forget it. It'll be fantastic for them. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, big time. What's that? I think I tell you, I was watching the Office Christmas special at lunchtime. I've started to get my old Christmas stuff out. Talking of which, if you want to get your 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper, the link's in the video description. 5 Cantonars, Christmas bits, snowflakes, or are they seagulls? You can get it in navy blue like me, or you can get it in different colours. The link's in the video description. It's available worldwide. Anywhere in the world you can get one. Link in the video description. If you want it for your Christmas party or just to wear throughout December to put your tree up, get it on order. Welcome to Habib Bucks, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you, pal. If you want to become a member, click the join button. You get a little badge next to your name and access to the emojis. And who is captain, please? Reply, says MC Games. Off. Who do you think the captain is? Definitely obvious to me who it was going to be. Cristiano Ronaldo. No, it's Jesse Lingard. Hi Mark, just got in from school. Please can you say what a brew? Says Matthew Swatton. I'll tell you what you can do for me, please. Everybody share the video. If you are watching, underneath the video there is a share button. If you click share, you can share it on Twitter and Facebook. We're trying to get to 585,000 subscribers today. We're about 450 short. The subscribe button is in the bottom right hand corner. If you are new, please do subscribe. If you have subscribed, please share it. We've got an interesting game today, so I'm just going to set as a challenge to get to 585. That number changes every 1,000 subscribers we get. We've got an outside chance of hitting 600,000 for Christmas, so please do subscribe and share it and help grow the channel. We've got another new member, which is Palara Olafsson. Welcome, thank you very much for that. And Josh Sutton says, regardless of the result, it's an amazing opportunity for these young guys in a competitive match. Astana will want to please their home fans with a win. Yeah, I don't know anything about Astana other than that game where they played us, but they will put their first team out, of course. And they are an experienced team in relation to age, and United aren't. So I just think that, look, what I would say is, how I look at this is, if Astana played in the English League, where would they be? I would say League 2. That's where they'd be, League 2. So who's in League 2? Salford. Salford are in League 2, and I think that's the level of Astana. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair, maybe they're League 1. But thanks for sharing the video, Remy, and everybody else who's saying that they've done it or subscribed, welcome. So let's say Astana are as good as Salford, right? If United under-23s went to play Salford at Salford, Salford would be favourites. And that's what I'm saying. We are massively hyping up these young players because we're excited. I mean, look at Dylan Levitt. He looks about 15 because he's probably not far off being 15. He's tiny because he's a young kid. Most of them are young kids, so I'm massively excited to see them play, but I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on them because they're young lads and they're basically playing the equivalent of a Salford City away from home. So I'm trying to tell you how hard it's going to be for them, so that if they do get a win, like 4 or 5-0 or a draw, how massive that result is. Poch was able to nurture a team to Champions League final under Levy. Would he be the ideal manager for United under the current United owners? Says Sure Shots 1414. Look, whether you're Ollie in or you're Ollie out, tonight's not really going to tell you anything about that. I think even if United got beat 6-0, that's nothing to be Ollie out about, is it? The next 3 league games are where that's going to be decided. And I think, much like the election in the UK or wherever you are, people have got their opinions and they're probably not going to change them until the results come in. So let's see what these results are going to be. I think we'll beat Villa, I think we'll draw with Spurs, and I think we'll lose to City. That will be enough to keep him in a job. Whether it should be or not is for other people. Nyagan says, Mark, what's your take on the recent rumour that Madrid want to give us James and Diaz for Pogba? Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. I think it's ridiculous. And Pahala Olafsson says it's pronounced Thorhallur. Frank Kessie is on Wolves' radar for January. That's a player I would love to see at United. Is it? Is it now? Is it now? I like Kessie. I'm going to have a look at that. Not at the moment, but I do like that. Thorhalla Olafsson, thank you very much for that. It looks like a P, you see, but Thorhalla Olafsson, I'll remember that in future. I am a fan of Kessie. Not really spoken about him for a long time. Frederick Larson, your thoughts on Phil Jones and his testimonial? Isn't it? Why am I smiling when I'm doing this? I come across like a right bitch. Your thoughts on Phil Jones and his testimonial? Isn't it sad that we are a club that bullies players that much? What about the man behind the player? Oh, I feel like a bully now, and I detest bullies. So apparently, I don't think I've spoken about this on the United Stand, but apparently Phil Jones has been offered a testimonial because he has been there for 10 years. And he's turned it down because he's scared that nobody would turn up apart from his mum and dad. Now, life's for laughing, isn't it? So I did laugh about it. But I tell you what, if Phil Jones has a testimonial and promises to wear pink boots, I will go and I will push it on every United Stand video the week before, and we'll get a few thousand people going. So there you go. I actually do agree that whatever you think about Phil Jones, he has been at the club for 10 years. That's not his fault. And if he wants a testimonial, they should do it. And to not have one because people won't turn up is sad. So I agree with that. It's the club's fault. He shouldn't have been here for 10 years. I think we all know that. He's been injured. He's not that good. But he has been here for 10 years. And I agree that he should get a testimonial. And if he did have a testimonial and he wore pink boots, I would go and I would promote it for him for free. So yeah, I agree. I think it is a sad story. But I can understand why he doesn't want to do it. Mark, happy Thanksgiving. How do you become a member? Says Magic Eye. There should be a join button under the video for you to do that if it's available in your country, Magic Eye. Thank you. Matt Clive says, great achievements yesterday, United Stand. If you or Flex could have asked Ollie any question yesterday, what would you have asked him? Yeah, so Flex got to ask a question of Ollie in the press conference yesterday because the United Stand, thanks to you lot, was out in Astana. People think that Flex and Josh just think, oh, I'm going to go to Astana. It costs a lot of money. The tour in the summer costs a lot of money. So everybody gets involved in the United Stand, whether you're starting today and subscribing today or you've been subscribing for 3 or 4 years, the journey we are on together is an amazing one. And we keep knocking down these boundaries as fan opinion. You know, there was a journalist in that room who works for a top Manchester news outlet, who when Flex asked this question, he put it like this. He said, we've been doing really well in the Cups so far. Is that the priority this season, the Cups? That journalist tweeted out and said, journalist in the press conference just referred to Ollie as we. Now, Flex rang me up and said, why am I being ridiculed for this? And I said, you know what it is? It's the modern media outlets, the journalists who've been and got a degree, who are snobby in the world that they are, and would frown and look down at you because you said we when you should have said United. But this is what fan content is doing. It's breaking down these boundaries of the mainstream media. Screw your degree, shove it up your arse. We're a fan channel and we refer to United as we because it's our club. So screw it up your arse. So that was great to actually get to ask that question. Obviously, we couldn't ask Ollie the questions we'd like to ask because they wouldn't get answered. But if I could ask Ole Gunnar Solskjaer any question, knowing he'd have to answer it, my question would probably be something along... Well, I know what it would be. It would be, why didn't you buy midfielders in the summer? And if he said to me, well, the money was there, but we just didn't... we couldn't find the right players, I'd list off Fernandes, Partey, all the other players that were available that would have made us better. I would love to get the truth to that answer because I suspect... Even though Ollie says the money was there and they chose not to, I don't agree with that. I actually think that they didn't want to spend the money. Welcome to Emmanuel, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. We've nearly got 10,000 people watching, so please keep sharing the video. Underneath the video it says share it on Twitter and Facebook, and also subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We are closing in on, let's have a look, subscriber count. We've moved up 50, we're 400 off 585. That number in the top right hand corner will change to 585 when we do it. So please keep subscribing if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and keep sharing the video. Marky says that, Mark, press conferences should be for the fans, not journalists who bend narratives to suit an agenda. Look, I wouldn't say that the modern journalistic world is changing. You're still going to have all these very good journalists out there that have been down there for a while. But what you get with fan content like the United Stand is you lot get to call in on a Monday night. If you're at the game, you get to get on a fan channel. If you're in the live comments, you get to interact. All these voices, all these opinions. But the biggest thing that always drove me the subline of the United stand is this: the United stand, and then underneath it, it really should say what I started it for: real fan opinion for real fans. That's what it's about, real fan opinion. So when we talk about United, we're United fans. It's ours. We are United. It's our club. So when we're talking about stuff, we talk about it with an element of passion and an education. When the bloody Times or the Independent or the Athletic or anybody else talk about United, they talk about it like you say because they're journalists and they might cover other areas and they're looking for a story all the time. Whereas for us, yeah, all right, if United are going to sign a player, we're going to talk about it. But we're also going to talk about that shit player shouldn't be playing. So Bruno Fernandes just signed the new contract, says Magic Eye. No, he didn't. He did it 2 days ago. You're too slow. And Jesse Reyes says, what if the player he wanted weren't available at the time? Says Jesse Reyes. Well, you can't come out of that's nice. Lingard's just rolling out a kid with no legs. I'm sure there's going to be a horrible meme joke about that, but it's that sort of a game today, isn't it? You can just take it in, and the players are coming out. Welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Magic Eye. He's just joined as well. What if the player that we wanted in the summer weren't available, says Jesse Reyes. Well, look, that's football. That's not this channel, actually. That's another channel. But that's football, and with regards to that, let's say United wanted Sean Longstaff in the summer, which I think they did, well, you don't just not get Sean Longstaff and then not buy a midfielder. We let Fellaini go, we let Herrera go, and we didn't replace them. You can't just say, I couldn't get the player I wanted, so I won't have any. This is why you have plan A, B, C, and D. Like, you listen to Mourinho over the years, he will tell you, you don't always get the player that you want. You have to go for your second or third option. United didn't do that. They just didn't get any midfielders in. So look at the contrast between the Astana team and the United team. It's ridiculous. They are it's just totally different. Totally different. It's men against boys, but that doesn't mean anything. But they do look very, very young compared to the United lads. To the Astana lads. Exciting though. It's exciting. Let's see what we can do, people. Let's see what we can do. Get your final score predictions in. I'm going to go 2-1 to Astana because I just think that the experience will be too much for United lads. But I even think that would be a fantastic result for them. So I don't know if anybody knows whether that team that Astana have put out is basically the same team that they put out against us. But Jesse Lingard, the captain, I mean, he's got to put in a performance today, hasn't he? If that team needs leadership. I said this before, Jesse Lingard cannot come out of this game, and we will be doing the player ratings at the end of the game, but Jesse Lingard cannot come out of this game with a 4 or 5 out of 10. He's got to put in a performance today. The guy says, Mark, if we're going to for Europa League, it's going to be really hard as good teams will drop into it. It's going to be hard. I don't want another year of this, says the guy. And welcome to James Smith, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Yeah, if you do become a member, when you're in the live comments, you get a little badge next to your name, and that badge changes every month, all the way up until a platinum badge. So that's how it works. Thanks for answering my question yesterday, says NSing. I get what you're saying, but you've criticised for saying give time, but you're saying the same thing. Chapter not over. I'm not saying give it time. I'm saying that I wouldn't sack Ollie yet because I think there's another chapter to be written. I don't feel like the story's over. People who are saying give it time are talking about the end of the season or another 2 years. I'm not saying that. The chapter could be over in a week. If he loses against Villa and Spurs and Man City, Ollie out for me. The chapter's written. So I'm not saying give it time. I'm just saying I feel like there's more to be told. Alexander says, hello, Mr. Bark Goldbridge. Very big fan of the United stand. What are your thoughts on Ed Woodward getting wet-willied today? I've sort of heard of this. Apparently he was playing a game of pool and a United fan went and wet-willied him. If anyone in the live comments wants to say what a wet willy is, then please do. But the game is kicked off. It's United to kick off. And My timer is not going to show. There it is. So we're 10 seconds in. If someone in the live comments wants to say what a wet willy is, I think a wet willy is where you lick your finger and put it in the ear, isn't it? Finger in the ear, says Archie. Yeah. So I haven't really been on social media that much today, but I did see that. So I think it's funny, to be honest with you. But look, let's keep an eye on this game. I want a lot of people in the live comments to be giving their tactical thoughts from United today. We are playing the 4-2-3-1 that we're used to. Dylan Livet here. I love the way. What I do like about Dylan is his low centre of gravity and the way he moves the ball about. You will definitely start to see people saying things like Verratti. You know, he's got that sort of Scholes. He's got that sort of a movement. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people are saying that sort of thing. I do like the look of him. I really do. But it's bloody bright. It's bloody bright, that pitch, isn't it? I promise Ollie said he wanted a midfielder and Ed said no, I just bought Fred. And we can't just buy any midfielder either. They must want to be here, says Young Knock Nut. And Nick Warren says, we should not lose this game. We need momentum, and losing the game will generate more slander from everyone and breed more negativity. Do you agree with Nick on that, though? I think if United lose this game, there's, you know, if we concede a goal in the next minute and it's a mistake by Bernard, I'm not going to go, get back to kindergarten, you shit piece of rubbish. What are you on about? You know, I'm not going to do that because they're just, I don't believe in criticising young players. I just don't. And I just don't think that it matters hugely. But here's Chong, poor pass, but United are looking to break here. And Chong could get in here. Look at the pace by Chong there. He's got Laird on the overlap, but he's done well to keep it up there. And now it's Dylan Livet. Good play. I tell you what, he's looked very lively already. 3-1 United. Greenwood and Gomez will have worldies, says Nick Warren. I hope so. But I mean, only early days, but I quite like the look of how Dylan Livet has started. He's getting on the ball, and Garner. Cocaine Mitch says Dylan should be very good. I think in the future he's going to be very good, but Garner's doing very well, you know. Garner's doing very, very well. Please do share the video if you are watching. Let's get as many people as we can watching on this novelty 4 o'clock kickoff, but I'm all for it. Lingard's got to have a big game, yeah. So we're playing the 4-2-3-1. You've got Levitt and Garner sort of holding the midfield with the fullbacks pushing forward, pushing very far forward actually. Ethan Laird is very far forward at the moment, and Garner and Levitt are just sitting. Luke Shaw's playing as well, yeah. And here's Gomez playing off the left, Chong playing off the right, and Lingard playing off Greenwood. So very exciting United side today, and we're having a lot of the ball against the Astana, who it's men against boys, but it's United holding on to the ball a lot at the moment. So, you know, I was saying before the game, and I would like to get other people's opinion on this, and maybe if you're from Kazakhstan, you'll know. But I would put Astana on the level of a League 2 side. So I said Salford because they're in League 2. This is like United's youth side playing Salford away from home. It's men against boys, and you would expect Astana to be the favourites. But the way it started off, maybe Astana are the equivalent of AFTVFC. I don't know. They've not started off very well, but the United lads have. They're knocking the ball around really, really well. Goldbridge predicted the team bang on, says Jamie Paget. I know. I love it when I predict the team well as well, because I don't have to change the. Well, I purposely left that one in because it's a predicted one. I don't have to change the lineup, so I've kept it in there. Lukaku is proving Ollie wrong, apparently. No. I said this on Twitter last night. Like, why are people living up Lukaku's arse like he didn't spend all last season chasing his first touch in Sainsbury's car park? Lukaku's a good striker in the box, but if you want to be in the top 4 these days, you need a striker that's more than a penalty box goal scorer. Lukaku's playing in a slow league, and Lukaku will get you 30 goals. But here we go, Greenwood hits it. Good shot. Keeper doesn't hold it. Corner. Lingard plays him in. Greenwood gets the shot. Exciting. Can you announce the clock so I can sync with my TV? Says Chuck in Bangkok. We are pretty much second for second streaming, I think, today. We're only about 5 seconds behind the live stream. So 5, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're pretty much bang on today. There's not much of a delay. Chuck in Bangkok. So Astana have started off well under the thumb here. Gomez picks it up on the edge of the box. He's quite wide on the left. Looks up. He's going to get a shot. Oh, tell you what, United have really dominating Astana at the moment. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Lingard again. Lingard's getting loads of space to feed Greenwood in that number 10 role today. The young ones are playing well, says Ibrahim. This is more exciting, says Amaraf. Better than the first team. I was waiting for somebody to say that. Tigers said it straight away. United are playing better than the first team. Please keep sharing the link underneath. Share it on Twitter and Facebook. We've nearly got 10,000 watching. So a lot of people probably getting in from work and school and stuff in the UK. So get on it. That's the team news. United have started off really well in this first 6 minutes, dominating the ball. And we're giving up a free kick there. Jake G1000 says, take Lingard off and get Puigmal or Galbraith on already. I think Lingard's nearly made 2 assists so far. First one was a good shot by Greenwood and the second one was just a little bit weighty. Just Gent says, why is the game kicking off at this time? So it's 10 o'clock in Kazakhstan. So it's 10 o'clock in the evening. That's why it's kicking off at 4 o'clock here. Gomez gets a shot off. Again, it's blocked. Astana are pretty much all over the place at the moment, but United have started off very energetically. What surprises me is how we only beat these 1-0 at Old Trafford. Because we're absolutely dominating them in the first minute. Kids are quick and fast, says Michael Skerritt. Yeah, what they're doing is they haven't got the physicality, so they're moving the ball. They're using the ball, which is always good to see. Garner and Levitt can exploit gaps in between the lines. As Gold Piece Prosperity. YT Wallow says, Mark, are you happy that Luke Shaw's back or do you prefer Brandon Williams? Greenwood's offside here, running one-on-one. I'm happy that Luke Shaw's back because I just want to see Brandon and Luke competing for that left-back spot. I don't think Brandon Williams, at his age, can play every week. He's going to be inconsistent. He's going to need games where he's rested. So I would rather have Luke Shaw battling it out with him than Ashley Young. Kay Laurie says, I prefer Gomez to Chong. Chong seems like a headless chicken when he plays sometimes. So if Chong goes, I won't be majorly upset, but I would if Gomez or Greenwood left. I would like to see Chong go on loan. There you go. I think that's what should have happened. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 585,000 subscribers today. Bottom right hand corner. Click the subscribe button if you're new. We've got fan cams after the games. We've got 8 o'clock shows, call-ins, previews, match reactions, transfer news. All sorts going on the channel. We've got a fantastic Christmas present coming your way on the 20th of December. So excited about what we've got to announce on that date. But so subscribe, get involved. You won't regret it. Real fan opinion. And we had an epic day yesterday asking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a question in the press conference because we're out in Kazakhstan with Flex and Josh. Twansibi's a leader, says Shane Colgan. Hey, we've got over 10,000 people watching now as well, so please keep sharing the video, get involved. United on the attack here with Lingard. They've started off very, very, very impressively, very, very quick. Here's Chong, hit it! Ooh, there was a bend on that to the top corner. He didn't quite catch it right. Nagaigan says, Mark, Ollie is playing a very high line as they have pace due to their young age. Very smart. They can always make a quick recovery back. Yeah, very, very, very correct. United have... Oh, what a goal! What a goal! And it's Jesse Lingard who scores it. And he's made an impact. Lingard finds his level. Under 18 football. We are 1-0 up. And it's Jesse Lingard who scores it. Lovely stuff, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's only what we deserve. We've started off very well, and the mind does think, how did we end up in a situation at Old Trafford where we didn't beat these like 5 or 6-0 at Old Trafford? We only beat them 1-0. But we're 1-0 up, and it's Jesse Lingard, edge of the box, drops to him. For a moment, I thought it was Garner, but it's Lingard who puts it in, and he needed that. Bloody hell. Are we going to... Already the live comments are saying, are we now going to see Messi Lingard back for December and January like we did 2 years ago? Well, look, he's been given the captain's armband. He scored a goal in the first 10 minutes. You know, he can't do a lot more than that. Fair play to him. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United. And lots of people saying, up with the youth, gold piece prosperity. Messi Lingard is back. And Lingard is on Ronaldo's level, says Magic Eye. But he did say a joke next to it as well. So United lead 1-0. And Captain Lingard. Is that his first goal of the season? Well, what I would say is maybe he was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe United will win this 3 or 4-0. Orkizi Olawabi says he's welcome to the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for joining. It's his first goal of 2019 apparently. I don't know about that. Beans. I should have said that, Adaraj. I should have said that. United are absolutely all over them. Absolutely all over them. Jesse's first European goal in 3 years, says Abhinav Ray. Wow. That is... he does need to get more goals, doesn't he? He's been awful for 18 months, let's be honest. And I hope he can find some level because at the moment he's been dreadful. But I think in a game like this, I mean, what is Astana's level? I think that's the question we've been asking for the last sort of 20 minutes. I thought they were on level with Salford. I don't even think they're a League Two side. I think they'd struggle. I think they'd struggle in the National League. Astana, they're not very good. But as I said, it amazes me that they came to Old Trafford and won and only lost 1-0. United are absolutely buzzing. They're all over them. Loan our youth to Salford City like a farm team, says doing it well. And Sean Atwood, good to see one of our teenagers scoring. Prospect scores, says Rohan. Aiden's just got in from school and we're winning 1-0. Yeah, you can rub your eyes. Lingard has actually scored for United. I think apparently it's his first goal in Europe for 3 years. It's not his first goal of 2019 because he scored against Arsenal, didn't he? So I think it's his first goal of the season. Looking forward to Shaw's response to 17-year-old taking his place in the squad. Could define his United career. Also, Dylan's passing has been class, says 28D. Yeah, I've been very impressed with Levitt so far. And Garner. Not been impressed with Astana. They're shit. They're really bad. Even Ollie said he expected it to be a tight game. We're absolutely dominating them. So I'm just going to say the youth have been brilliant, but I suspect Astana are just crap. Willan Detroit, welcome, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And WH13 says, let's not forget that was a Shaw assist too. Okay, if you say so. And happy to see teenager score for United, says Udit Banaga. You think this is one of the few games we'll see Chong play for United? I want to see Twansibi for Lindelof. I do think that if Twansibi hadn't got injured, then Lindelof was going to get dropped for Lindelof, if I'm honest with you. And I do think that Twansibi is a better player for Maguire. I think Maguire needs some pace next to him, and Lindelof and Maguire are not particularly fast. And like Vidic and Ferdinand, the best centre-back pairings work if you complement each other. And I think that we do lack that bit of pace in our side. So, yeah. I think Twansebi will be playing again with Lindelof. Great to see 16-year-old youth prospect Lingard score, says Toby Bunzel. I can only imagine what social media is like. I bet it's buzzing with that sort of thing. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 585,000 subscribers today. If you have subscribed, please share the video. And if you want to get your 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper, it is officially Christmas weekend this weekend. Get it for your Christmas parties, for your Christmas dinner, just to wear it around the house over in December. Links in the video description. It's available worldwide. If you are out somewhere in India or anywhere like that, get it ordered quick because there are deadlines for delivery before Christmas and they are coming up in the next week or so. So please do get those orders in quick and you can get hold of one of those. But it's United on the attack here. It's Laird with the cross and the keeper holds on to it. But United have not let up. They are absolutely all over Astana at the moment, who've been very, very poor. Shaw looks like a rugby player, says Bradley Martin. I've just subscribed, says Matthew Wood. Thank you very much. 72% possession to 28% possession, says Zing Greenwood. There's actual movement of the ball to make space. The first team should take note, says RP41X. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the positivity today. Can I just ask you lot while we are live though, because I think the intensity of this game is just going to be one to admire. I think United are very comfortable. Where do you stand at the moment on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Are you Ole in? Are you Ole out? And just give me a sentence why either way, and we'll read some of those out while we're live. Rabani says that Levitt, Lard, Garner, Mason and Gomez are surely ready. Ole should use these players more often and replace players like Mata, Young and Matic with them. I think that with regards to Mata, as soon as we signed him, I was fearful of what that meant for Gomez. And I think that if we didn't have Mata, we would have seen more of Gomez. So I agree with you on that. Abanaf Ray, his last European goal was against Feyenoord in November 16. Whatever you think about Lingard, if he was scoring and getting assists and playing badly, at least he'd be scoring and getting assists. He doesn't score enough. And I just hope that, you know, maybe we can have a really good January and December with him. Jordan Such says, I watch Astana and it's scary to think this is our level now and will be for a while. I'm afraid to say the senior players should be ashamed of themselves for putting us in a competition like this. There you go. Anyway, Laird down the back. Cross comes in and I think Astana will keep that in, but they're not. They're trying to pass it out, Astana. They're trying to play a bit of football, but United's pressing game is impressive. But now Astana have a bit of space to move into here. Watch out. Garner. United have got men back now, which is good. Cross comes in. Twansebi will deal with that. Imagine you were playing against the teenage side and getting outplayed this bad. I'd hang up my boots, says Udit, but no, they are getting outplayed. And the thing is, it's like if you play for a Sunday pub team, for example, and then, you know, Man United under 16s come and play you, they play you off the park, even though they've got no physicality. They would play off the park with technique, and that's what's happening here. It's men against boys, but the boys have got the talent, and Astana just... I think there is an issue here that I want to address, and that is that this is the same Astana team that came to Old Trafford and only lost 1-0. How the hell are our young players absolutely destroying them after 20 minutes, but we couldn't do it at Old Trafford? It's weird. And I think there's a lot to be said, isn't there, for what people have been saying in the live comments. The fact that these young players are quick and move the ball quick. And this is lovely play by Ethan Laird. Onto the edge of the box. Lingard. Oh, just over the bar. He could have an hat-trick tonight. Ollie's in. He's shown enough pockets of quality and positivity like today to warrant another transfer season at least, says Akil Kamal. Mark, I saw Woodward in the director's box with Borat, says Zayn Miasi. Ollie out, really, we like him, but this is a Man United. We have standards, says Taz Iman. Ollie out because I don't see him making enough changes early in a game when it is not going well. That's from Samuel Ahrens. The last time Lingard, we've done that one. Ollie out, he played a two-man midfield in the EPL and didn't buy midfielders, says White Owl. Ollie out, people saying give him time, a hypocrite, says Giannas Cree. They weren't saying the same about the other managers who had a real CV. Definitely Ollie in, says Vic Jones. He's trying his best with a weak first team. He seems to have got it right today. And out because I don't see him making enough change. I've read that one. I'm Ollie in, says silly drawn t-shirts as Greenwood just shoots wide. No, Lingard shoots wide. He could have had a hat-trick. Silly drawn t-shirts. I think he could be moved upstairs to director of football and then got Poch in to work with Ollie as a duo. I can't see that happening in a million years, to be honest with you. Liam Brown says that Ollie was never the right man for the job, but I'm hopeful he can prove me wrong. Klopp took a couple of years to get Liverpool where they are, so why can't Ollie? And S Septic says Mark Goldbridge in and Ollie out. I'm not looking for the job, to be honest. I was flustered there. And Nargan says I think it's because of the pace of the team. This team has lots of pace, unlike the last team we played against Astana, which is a good point. I just want to check that as well. It won't take me long to check this. So Astana have actually got a throw-in in the United half at the moment, which is a really exciting thing that to happen. And I've got some really exciting news for you as well. I just want to more about this game lineups. So if I was to say to you, Eric, Rukavani, Postanev, Loganev, Shomko, and a good shot from Astana there, they had a chance. I've got that wrong, you bloody twat. Good chance for Astana there. But they didn't score it, so United stay in front. So, Eric Cravani, Postaves, Tomasevic. Yes. That's one not playing. Mavsky, Sigurdsson, Rotaro. One. I'll have to go and double check, but I've counted 8 players that started at Old Trafford for Astana. So, what's the excuse then? What is the excuse? All right, mate. Only just joined, says Ben Mann. What are our tactics like? Are we playing positive attacking football? How are our injury returnees playing? Keep it up. Thanks, Ben. So, if you are just joining us, United are playing a 4-2-3-1 tactically. Very quick. They've moved the ball around very quickly. There's been a lot of speed in the way that we've played. We've dominated the play. Lingard scored about 10 minutes ago. Astana not in the game at all. United are much the better team. Shaw was sleeping on that chance as gold piece prosperity. And a lot of people going in on Luke Shaw for that. He did switch off, says William Jowett. But it still remains 1-0. United much the better team. They've got a free kick here from about 30 metres out. I think Lingard wants to get on it. You know what? Lingard can see 150,000 t-shirts sold with J Lings on it tonight. He can see a tweet coming up. He can see a dance. He can see merch. He can see the pound signs. He's playing against the shit team, but he can stat pad. And he's on a free kick here. But it's Greenwood and it's straight into the wall. And United don't win that free kick. This game is easy game for the youth, so easily the game would make Ollie look good. Still not convinced as Kevin Marshall. Look, thanks everybody who's getting in the comments about whether they are Ollie in or Ollie out. But the reason I asked that is because what I wanted to say was that with regards to the game tonight, there is nothing to learn about Ollie in, Ollie out. The games for that are Villa, Spurs and City. This is not United's first team. It's not even United's reserves. You think about United's second team. United's second team is people like Matic and Delo and Mata and Jones and Romero. This is a youth team with Lingard, Shaw and Twansebi in it. It's not even our second team. So to be critical of the tactics or the result would be folly. It's just a nice game to watch, isn't it? Games like this worry me on Ollie evaluating Lingard. Is this and Mata's new contract essentially why we didn't get Bruno Fernandes? Says Alligator. I think you're probably right. Who do you think Arsenal should go once we sack Emery? Says Zane Miassi. I think you should get whoever's going to be worse for you, so Allegri. This shows Ollie should be under 21 manager. Now else, says James Murphy. Interesting point. Interesting point. So, let me just get this. I really want to figure this out. I really want to get this right. So, Eric's in goal. Astana are on the attack at the moment. Eric's in goal for Astana. Cavani's playing. Postnik is playing. He's not playing, but Sean Coe is. MUFC, Radaro, Sigurdsson, Simonovic. So there's best squad. Nine of their players who started are starting tonight, who started at Old Trafford. 9. So 9 of the team that only lost 1-0 at Old Trafford are playing tonight and getting outplayed by our youth team. And our first team couldn't do it. But Astana are in the attack here, and that's deflected. Ollie was good as a interim, but I don't like him as a full-time manager, says Shannon. And Astana are starting to come into this game a little bit more now. I hope that's nothing to do with tiredness and it's just momentum of a game changing. And a decent shot there over the bar from Astana. Maybe they've settled into the game a little bit. To be honest with you, it might be psychologically it might be a difficult game for Astana because they know that they're playing a United youth team. So maybe they feel that they're favourites and they maybe took them a little bit lightly. I don't know. They've started to come into the game a little bit better now. Play this lot against Villa, says Steve Williams. And our main midfield can't pass through the lanes. That's why we play them off the park now. Quality duo here. Too bad they don't have the stamina for the Premier League yet, says Kirill Kokorev. Yeah, I don't think Garner and Levitt are anywhere near ready for the first team yet. But here's Luke Shaw coming forward. It'll be a good run out for him today. Gomez. And here's Chong. I do like Chong. I know he's very inconsistent, but I do like Chong. I think there's a player there. I think if we let him go to Juventus, there is a player there. And I know he's very inconsistent, but I just think that the way forward with Chong was to get him alone. That's what we should have done. Man United 99 says our youngsters are playing like a pack of hyenas. They are. They're playing absolutely superb. Very confident on the ball, everybody. Very confidently moving the ball about, everybody. So, yeah, loving it. They're doing really, really well. Astana starting to come back into it a little bit more. 9 of the side played. Yeah, definitely starting to come back into it a little bit, Astana, at the moment, but I think that's going to be something that United's lads... There's a fitness element, isn't there? And remember, a lot of these lads won't be training with the first team week in, week out. Mark, if United draw at home to Villa and Spurs then took a beating at City, do you think Ollie would remain as manager? If we draw at Villa and then Spurs took a beat... Good shot by Astana, that's just gone wide. I expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be Manchester United's manager in May. So for me to say if, buts and maybes about the next 3 games, it's very, very difficult. I don't expect us to have the results that are bad enough for him to be sacked. But what I would say is you've got 9 points to play for against Villa, Spurs and Man City. 2 of them are at home. I think you've got to take a minimum of 6 points. You've got to win 2 of those 3. I don't expect us to beat Man City. I think that's a write-off. Anything we get out of that is a bonus if we get anything. So that is that's a terrible kick by Grant, but we've managed to keep hold of the ball. So 6 points is what we should be looking at as acceptable. 4 points isn't good enough, but it won't be enough to get the sack. 3 points, probably not enough to get the sack. I think 1 point or 0 he might get the sack. But I can't see that. I think we'll beat Villa. And I think we'll draw against Spurs and then we'll lose to City. So 4 points from 9. I don't think it's good enough, but I think that's what we'll end up with. As Jacob Damien says, the board is stubborn. Yeah, hopefully we will see Ramazani or Mella in the second half. I think what I would say is that with Pigmal on the bench as well, and Galbraith, there is no way that a lot of these young lads can play 90 minutes. And by the young lads, I'm talking about Livett and Laird and Garner, who aren't used to it. It's going to be hard for them to play 90 minutes at this intensity. So we will see subs in the second half, of course. I think he will really want to see... he will really want to get some of those young lads on. Mourinho's net spend 300 million at United. Klopp's is only 70 million, says Mr. Mitt. But yeah, but Klopp did sell Coutinho for 150 million. Like, you know, Mourinho did want to sell Martial. If he'd sold Martial, that would come down. And, you know, United didn't have a player that Mourinho could sell for 150 million. So I think that there's always, you know, you can take that headline. Of course you can. But did Mourinho have a player that he didn't want anymore that he could sell for 150 million? No. So Klopp's net spend is impressive, but there are mitigating factors, of course, as there are in most facts. Goal Peace Prosperity says our MD would be proud the huge number of social media impressions Lingy's goal would create. Stock market valuation rose by $300 million yesterday. Ali K, Mark, would you finally now admit and agree that Young is our number one left back after seeing Shaw today? This was the perfect game to bring him back to. No. Ashley Young's our number one left back. You're trying to wind me up. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Steen Ramasan says, because Ollie is a shield for Ed, the only possible way to get rid of Ed is to sack Ollie, keeping Ollie because the real problem is Ed and the board is a flawed argument. Yeah, but Ed knows that Ollie's a shield to him, so would you throw your shield on the floor to fight? Of course you wouldn't. Onto the roof of the net there, deflected, Lingard shot, it looped up over Eric, the goalkeeper, and it went onto the roof of the net. Remember, Eric, if you want to get your Christmas jumper, links in the video description, 5 Cantonars, the famous Manchester United chant over the Christmas period, 5 Cantonars. The link is in the video description. They were available worldwide. They're in different colours as well. Mine's navy blue, 5 Cantonars. You can wear it for Christmas. Links in the video description. Nice plug. Yes, thanks, Jake. I can't believe how in sync we are. I say something and you are literally replying about it in the live comments. We're like, you're only probably about 4 seconds behind. Cross comes in. We're up. And it goes wide. So, good start for United. It has started to settle a little bit. 32 minutes gone. Enjoyable game. So proud of Lingard, says Bill Mwicki. Who do you want to replace Ollie, says Tom Probert. Look, this game today is a nice game for us to sit and watch. And I'm more than happy to answer some of the questions. So, get in the live comments. Who would you replace Ollie with if he was sacked? And I always say it's disrespectful. But you know what? We can have that conversation. So, it's nothing to do with me. If Ollie's been sacked and I've got to choose who's going to replace him, I would like... I like Brendan Rodgers, but that's not going to happen. United are winning the ball back way too easily. Because Astana are crap. But, RP Leipzig manager, yep. The Ajax manager. I don't like Allegri. I think, to be honest with you, if he was sacked tomorrow, which is not going to happen, you've got to go for Pochettino, haven't you? You've got to. Even though he doesn't play wingers and it worries me, I would say let's try Pochettino. I would say that. If it was next summer, I would be interested in a Brendan Rodgers. I like the Ajax manager as well. What I think it's important United do if they ever do sack Ollie is that they go for a manager who's got an upward curve in their career. You know, they're not established, they're not Allegri, they're not a Mourinho, they're not a Van Gaal. They actually have got a trajectory to improve. So, offside, Astana there. That's what I would be looking at. But managers are all about when, aren't they? If Ollie was sacked next week because he loses 3 games in a row, you've got to go for Pochettino. And I agree with what Carragher said. Whether United are going to stick with Ollie or not, they'd be stupid to not have had a chat with Pochettino because you never know. Things can change in football. Yeah, let's have a look what you're saying. Mark, when are you coming to Ireland again, says Brian Murphy. Funnily enough, I was emailing somebody today about a venue in Ireland, and we are going to do it in either February or March. It'll either be the March international break, or remember we've got that winter break this season. We don't know when United's winter break is. We're looking to do it that week maybe as well. Shot and Grant saves. Astana starting to come back into it a little bit more. Luis Enrique, says Tessel Me. I mean, I personally think, and this is not an Arsenal fan channel, but I think for Arsenal, you'd be way better going for Luis Enrique than a Nuno. I really think that Nuno, with 5 at the back and hitting teams on the break, is not what Arsenal want to play, is it? So I think Luis Enrique would fit them better, if I'm honest with you. I think it's the pressure. At Old Trafford, we had the pressure to qualify, so we didn't take that much risk. Now we have qualified. We are playing expansive, says Chris Shedder. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just that I think you hit the nail on the head in a different way. At Old Trafford, you know, you're the attacking team. They're going to sit back. They are the home team. They've got a lot of home support. They're playing a United youth team and they're expected to win. So that is putting a pressure onto Astana that they wouldn't really expect against United. Even though I want Ollie to be a success, I wouldn't mind seeing Eric Ten Hag or Niko Kovac, says Leaf Hunter. Ancelotti for me, says Sergej Memedov, playing beautiful attacking football, great experience behind him. Poch is not for United in my opinion. Playing without wingers, too much risk for me. I think that ship has sailed with Ancelotti, Sergej. I would have loved Ancelotti. And Naeem says Ancelotti. I would have loved Ancelotti. He does play with wingers. I think Ancelotti would be perfect for United, but I think Ancelotti's sort of pretty much on his last job and he's back in his homeland in Italy, isn't he? I don't understand how Napoli have had players going on effective strike with somebody like Ancelotti. I don't really get what's going on with Napoli, but they showed yesterday against a good Liverpool side that, you know, they've taken 4 points off them in 2 games. They're a good team, Napoli, but in the league they're mid-table. But I don't think Ancelotti is anywhere near realistic. No, I don't. Lingard scored. I love trains. Please do keep subscribing to the channel. That number there has not changed to 585 yet. We're trying to get to 585,000 subscribers today. So please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. United on the attack here with Greenwood into Levitt and Astana pick it up. And if you have subscribed, please share the video. Underneath there's a share button. You can share it on Twitter and Facebook. There I am showing off the jumper. I'm not doing it for a plug. You can get your jumper. The link's in the video description. But I do have a bad back, so I just have to stand up every now and again and give it a bit of a wiggle. I'll be I think this has been a really interesting game, and I've got to give Ollie credit because he said it would be a tight game. And I think the first 20 minutes, United absolutely annihilated them. But the last sort of 20 minutes, Astana have come back into it, and it's been more of an equal game than I think many of us thought it was going to be. First 20 minutes, United could have put it away. They could have been 3 or 4-0. Last 20 minutes, it's changed a little bit. Oh, Lingard's caught a late tackle there, and he is down. And Greenwood goes on, and we might get a goal. Oh, he got a shot off Greenwood there, and he maybe should have played Gomez in. But Lingard has gone down. It was a late tackle, and it should be a yellow card. I think he just went through him a little bit. I'm surprised the ref hasn't given a yellow card there. It's late. Oh, I tell you what, that's going to hurt. Oof. That's a yellow card. You could even say it was a red. I think he has been booked. Yeah, he has been booked. Sigurd Jonsson. That should have been a red. Lingard's up though, so that's all right. So United comfortable. They don't have VAR in the Europa League apparently. I've said this before, I don't know why. Lingard scored it. I love trains. How's Gomez looking, says Wool3R. I think Gomez and Chong have been busy, and Greenwood's been busy. There's not been loads and loads of chances, but they've looked good. I mean, I'll keep saying this. 9 of this Astana team played against us at Old Trafford. Nyagan says, Mark, I'm starting to think Levitt should start with Fred and McTominay against Villa as a midfield 3, but as usual, Ollie won't do that. Look, none of these players playing today are starting on Sunday. You know, it's Kazakhstan. It's a massive, massive flight. They're young lads. They'll be knackered for a couple of days after this, so nobody's going to start in this game. No one's starting on Sunday. Not even Twansibi or Shaw or Lingard. None of them will start. Mark, bring the show to Cork, home of Keno, says Brian Murphy. If you can deliver Keno, I'll go to Cork. Somebody just asked me a very good question, and I want to give you the answer, so I'm going to give it you now. The United team that started against Astana, as we know, 9 of these Astana players started against United at Old Trafford and only lost 1-0. In that United team was Romero, Dalot, Twansebi, Jones, Rojo, Fred, Matic, Greenwood, Gomez, Chong, Rashford. So it wasn't actually our first team, really, was it? Because Gomez and Chong played, Greenwood played, Twansebi played, Dalot played, Jones played, Rojo played, and Matic played. So it wasn't really our first team, to be fair, was it? But it was sort of a mixture between the reserves and the youth. So. Okay. Liking the young guys' energy, says DJ United. Yeah, it has been good, and we're, to be honest, I feel like that this is one of those games where you probably think it should only be half an hour gone, and it has actually whizzed by, hasn't it? Which is always a good thing. Thanks. Who are you going to? Christmas is going to be big in the Goldbridge house with all the merch plugging and 11 ads every show, says Dane Summer. Thanks for that, Dane. Came across as quite bitter, but, fair play. We did raise £12,500 for cancer a couple of weeks ago. So, if you think it's all about making money, we did raise £12,500 for cancer. So, shove that up your arse. And Mr. Glenn Johnson says, results versus tradition and culture. A 2 to 3 year trophies manager or a manager who keeps our tradition and culture while fighting for trophies. Thoughts? Results versus transition and culture. A 2-3 trophies manager or a manager who keeps our tradition and culture while fighting for trophies. Thoughts? I think you've got to go for both, haven't you? I mean, look, Ollie, I feel like you're saying Ollie or Mourinho there, but Ollie isn't getting the results and he's not really playing to our tradition. So ideally, you've got a manager who plays to our tradition and gets results. That's the thing we want to reach. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, says Sean Atwood. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Greenwood's offside here with a little dink over from a one-on-one. King Jar says, what's wrong with Chong? He needs to step his game up. Well, I don't think he's doing anything terribly wrong, if I'm honest with you. Kay Laurie makes a good point. What do you think about Laurent Blanc? I like Laurent Blanc, and I always sort of said I would like him to be United manager at some point. I said it before we got Mourinho, and I said it when people said about options to replace Ollie, but he's one of those people that, as a fan, it's a bit like when you say United should sign Fabinho, and you know they've got absolutely no chance of doing it. Blanc, I think, would be a good coach for Manchester United, but they'd never ever go near him. Little bit better from Astana this last sort of 10-20 minutes, but still not really created anything. They should be doing a lot better with the team that they've put out, but I think that just shows how well the United youngsters have done. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with them. Any big topics you'd like to talk about at half time once we've spoken about the half? Get in the live comments and I'll have a look. Rahul V says United hires managers with different styles to succeed each guy sells the players previous managers. Players squad shrinks every year from days of world class Van Persie, Rooney to Rashford, and Martial shows this. Rahul, you're very right, and that's the problem with changing a manager. If you brought Pochettino in, what if Pochettino doesn't rate Maguire and wants a different centre back? And that has happened. Van Gaal came in, wasn't really happy with what was left, brought his own players in. Mourinho came in, wasn't really happy with the players that Van Gaal brought in, got rid of his players. Ollie came in, doesn't really like the players Mourinho's brought in, has to take a while to get his own players in. And that's the problem. And I think that's one of the reasons United want to stay and be consistent. But the problem is, it's almost like, and this is where a lot of Ollie outers have their say. Wait a minute, United on the attack here. Chong loses it, but he's kept hold of it. I'll come back to that point because it's a good one. Shrikant Garamella says, we can't compare this game to the Premier League. Team doesn't give this much time on the ball. Lads should enjoy this stuff. By the way, big fan of yours, Mark. Thank you. And you're right, it's nothing like a Premier League game. If you played these kids against Bournemouth, they'd get battered. Mark, do you use a TENS unit for your back? It's been a big help for my back pain, says Sean Finity. I don't. I know my wife used it when she was pregnant. And Jordan Such says, will one of McTominay or Pogba be back for either Spurs or City? I think one of them will be. I don't know which one at this moment. Man of the half, Mark Hilmock. Yes, get in there with that if you would want to. Luke Jones says, read Dane's comment, big Goldbridge Christmas would be quality. Think that was Mrs. Goldbridge asking what colour the Bentley should be. There's some bitter twats in there reading stuff out today, isn't there? So we build a community for the fans and people get bitter about it. Odd people. Anyway, man of the half for me would be, I think Levitt. Because, I mean, look, Lingard scored the goal, of course. But I think Levitt and Garner have, in a game, whatever the opposition is, we've run the game. And I always say this, midfield is where games are won and lost. And we've been running that game. So I would say, for me, Dylan Levitt would be my man of the match from that first half. But going back to what I was saying there, we have got a problem at United where we get rid of a manager, the new manager comes in, gets rid of the players that the old manager's brought in, has to keep a lot of deadwood because they can't get rid of everybody, and the cycle continues and continues. I think what United are trying to do now is they're trying to be, well, we're not going to get rid of a manager, we're going to stick with a manager and see if a long-term approach works. The problem is, have they picked the wrong manager to go long-term with? Because maybe if they'd gone in the long-term with Van Gaal, he would have turned it around. Maybe if they'd gone long-term with Mourinho, long-term he would have turned it around. But going long-term with Ollie, who's got no CV, what if you just... Actually, you should sack him after a year because he's never going to be good enough, but you're going to give him 3 or 4 years when he's never going to be good enough. That's the problem, and I think that's what a lot of Ollie outers are saying. There's nothing problem with sticking by a manager, but deciding to do it because you've sacked 3 others isn't a reason to stick by this manager if he's never going to be good enough. We need a good director of football to stop the cycle, says Abanaf Ray. I agree with you on that one. Let me just say this. Let's just talk about the first half for a minute. Manchester United 1-0 up against Astana. Absolutely. Somebody said it in the first half. Them young players have been like a pack of hyenas, running around with a smile on their face, chasing the prey as a pack. Perfect. No real chances for Astana. I can think of only one. United buzzing around, playing high up the pitch, full packs bombing on. Fast movement of the ball, fast movement of players. Very easy on the eye, very energetic. First 20 minutes, they could have been 3 or 4-0 up. Last 20 minutes of the game, Astana finally came into the game. And remember, this is a game that's meant to be a little bit tight. It's not been tight. So really impressive from the United boys. Very hard to gauge how good Astana are. As I said, 9 of these players did play at Old Trafford. We only beat them 1-0 with a late goal from Greenwood. But that United team that played that night did have Gomez, Chong and Greenwood starting and Twansebi. It had Matic in it. It had Jones in it. It had Rojo and Delo in it. So it wasn't really our first team. So United have been very, very good. Very, very good. What the interesting thing about the second half now is there's a lot of energy going to that first half. These are young lads. They're not used to playing 90 minutes of of men's football, I suppose. So will they drop off in that second half or will they keep the intensity up? As we know, with Ollie's first team, we do drop off in second halves normally. So will we be able to keep up that intensity? Will we see a Ramazani or a Mella or a Galbraith coming on? Let's wait and see. But I've been pleased with United. I think they've been good. And as I said, for me, the men of the match for United so far have been Garner and Levitt. United have dominated that game, and they've dominated that game because of the way they've run the midfield. And very, very pleased for those two lads. Laird's making Wan-Bissaka question his spot in the team, says Ako. He's been very comfortable as well. It's been a very good half from Manchester United. A very good half from Manchester United. Just while we've got a lot of people tuning in for the half-time bit, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We are getting very close to 585,000. That will change when we do it. We're only 100 subscribers away, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and keep sharing the video. Niagan says, Mark, I don't get why United managers can't make do with what they have. Klopp still uses Matip. Pep uses Otamendi, Lampard uses Alonso. Good managers improve their existing players and only buy if needed. I disagree with that. I think United need to change their playing staff by quite a lot. Jack Flanagan says, hey Mark, I'm an Arsenal fan, but it's obvious to see the difference you make to the United community. Ignore the haters and keep up the good work. Thank you, Jack. And Josh Sutton says, first team should be paying attention to this energy and learn. Waiting for club propaganda regarding Lingard captain and goal scorer now. Look, for me, this team today is a one-off. If you played this team against whoever's bottom of the Premier League at the moment, let's say Watford would hammer them. This is a one-off. This is nothing to learn from this game except for the young players. If Lingard scores a hat-trick, it doesn't mean he's back. The football education of some football fans would go, Lingard's back, I'm going to go and buy all his clobber for Christmas. Clobber means merchandise, but he ain't back. He isn't back. He's not stood out as the best player on that pitch. He scored the goal, but he's not been the best player on the pitch, and most of those lads are teenagers. So Lingard's done okay, but none of these players will be playing against Villa, and then I don't think many of them will play against Spurs. So it's just, as I said before, it's a nice isolated opportunity for these youngsters to go in and show what they can do and maybe start forcing themselves into Ollie's first team squad. Joe Holdway says, Shaw looks like he's blowing out his arse already. Well, look, I'm not going to be critical of Luke Shaw because it's his first game in 3 months. I don't know. I think as football fans, we are too cynical too quickly. Look, I'll have a go at Lingard and Matic because they're consistently bad over months and months and months. Luke Shaw's been out for 3 months. He ain't going to come back in the team and be prime Luke Shaw because he's not match fit. This is the thing about people saying, well, will McTominay or Pogba be back for the Manchester derby? Even if they are, they ain't going to drop in and be prime McTominay or prime Pogba because they haven't, well, especially Pogba's not played for 3 months. So he ain't going to be, I just don't see how Pogba can even play in the derby because he won't be match fit. Even McTominay will have missed about 3 or 4 weeks. He ain't going to drop straight back in and be match fit. So I don't think people understand that. We saw it with Rooney all the time. If Rooney got injured for 2 or 3 weeks, it would take him 2 or 3 weeks of games to get back, to get your match sharpness. This is why players, when they've had June off and they come back and they go on pre-season tour, that's why we have pre-season tour, to get those players back fit, ready for the Premier League. Remember, in season, if you miss 3 months in season, you come back in the team. You're not match sharp like you're not match sharp when you come off from a summer off. So you need a few weeks to get back raring to go. Mark, did you know there are more United fans from Astana than the whole of City has? Says Zayn Miasi. Than the whole city has, yeah. The whole city of Astana has got more United fans than any other club, I'd probably imagine. Get on my level says, where can I get the Cantona jumper shipped to Australia? The link's in the video description, mate. If you look at it, it says United Stand Christmas jumper. You need to get onto that and order it, mate, because shipping you will get it. You just need to order it in the next couple of days and you'll definitely get it before Christmas. So links in the video description. If you want to get your Cantona, 5 Cantonas Christmas jumper, link in the video description. Get on it quick because Christmas shipping, it's available worldwide. If you live in the UK, you've got until like the first week of December, I think, to order it to get it for Christmas. But if you're worldwide, get on with it. Levitt's composure on the ball is promising. He doesn't look like he's any under pressure out there, says Andrew Niyagi. Well, he isn't under any pressure, is he? He's not under any pressure. There's a lot of space for him out there. Thanks, Adam. He says the young lads are doing well and hope they make it into the first team in the future, but we all have to remember this opposition isn't Premier League quality. And happy Christmas, you filthy animals, says Robin Rubles. Yes. And Luke Shaw looks lost in the final third, says William Decore. Yeah, but you could say that about Wan-Bissaka, I suppose. Wan-Bissaka doesn't do particularly well in the final third either. I think we get a lot of our width from our fullbacks in the Ollie position, don't you? So in the Ollie managership, so we do need to do better going forward. I mean, you look at, I hate to say this, but you look at Andy Robertson, or you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. They're exceptional going forward, and United, our fullbacks just don't do enough in the final third. You know, the way United play, even Ollie wants to use the width, so you need to have fullbacks who are basically auxiliary wingers, and we haven't got that. What have you made of Brandon Williams' performances so far, says Haris Rafiq? Very good, very good. I think you're going to get a drop off, of course, because of inconsistency of youth, but it's been good. It's been good. Sounds like your kids are enjoying themselves. It's just they've just got in from school, haven't they? It's a weird kick-off time. It is a weird kick-off time. And Niagan says Rojo, Jones, Shaw, Martial, Pogba, Bay, Ali, injury-prone players all have to be sold except for Shaw, so that we will have players to play more minutes. Well, I wouldn't sell Martial. I don't care. I wouldn't sell Martial. Didn't Shaw get the assist for Lingard, says Sean Atwood? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And look, Shaw looks like way off playing with the kids, says William Dinner. I mean, I do think that there's a bit of Luke Shaw hate in the live comments, and he always gets that. So I just think a lot of people are just saying Luke Shaw's crap because they don't like Luke Shaw, to be honest with you. Chong is a joke, says Martin. I see again. I don't see that. I think if you're saying Chong's been a joke, he's done no worse than Gomez. So again, I think people have favourites and they focus in on some. I just don't like that player, so I'm going to have a go at that player. Actually, between Shaw and Laird, there's probably not been a lot of difference, but people don't like Shaw. Between Chong and Gomez, there's not been a lot of difference, but people don't like Chong. So I just think you know, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. I find it hard to see the good in someone like Matic, but is the right back is one for the future, says Christopher Williams. Well, Ethan Laird is one that we've been talking about for a couple of years. He's well thought of in the youth setup. He's only going to get more physical, and I think he will be one for the future. He looks very, very, very good. Probably not quite ready yet, but he ain't going to be far off, to be honest with you. And as I said about the youth, I've said this before, just because they're good in the youth, I find it somewhat boring watching the youth, because there's no guarantee that a youth player playing well in youth football is going to be good in the first team. It's only at this point that you start to understand what these players are all about, because the step up is so big. Garner's looking good, says Armin Chadder. He has. And we don't get the best out of Angel Gomez when he plays on the left wing. Yashik Music. I bet that sounded like I was going to sing a song. Yashik Music. That's the name of his name. Of his username. But no, you're right. Gomez is playing out of position. He's not a left winger. Gomez should be playing where Lingard's playing. You're absolutely right. So yeah, I agree with that. I've got a bit of pizza here, so I'm just going to have a little munch whilst reading some of your comments. BT just said it was Lingard's first goal for 307 days, says Aston Johnson. Well, that's probably not right. That's probably about right, isn't it? It's actually not very nice. And David Dudier says, happy Thanksgiving to all our American United Stand community. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans out there. Yeah, definitely. It's not nice pizza. It's cold. I've left it too long. So second half, what do we think is going to happen in the second half? I think it was, as I was saying in the first half, in that second half, it was the tighter game that I think Ollie predicted. That first 20 minutes, United should have been 3 or 4-0 up. Then Astana came back into the game. I've been surprised how poor Astana have been. But I think in the second half, it'll be interesting to see whether United fitness levels drop off and Astana start to take control. Will it be the tight game that Ollie predicted in the second half, or will it be United go and get 2 or 3? I mean, there were people in the live comments, I've got to give them a shout out, before the game kicked off, they were saying, oh, it's going to be 3 or 4-0. So I've got to give them their dues. They did say that. So well done to you. But I don't have a problem with that. It's just very, very hard. It's very hard to predict how good Astana are, and that's the thing. Morki Duglovisk says, how are United playing? Good. They're doing good, I think. And I agree with Red 92. I think Chong's done okay. I just got a splashback on the water in my face. Don't even know. How can you get splashback when there's only that much water in it? All I did was that. How do you get splashback? It's like a rogue water. Not bad. Anyway, please do keep subscribing. Just ordered my jumper, mate. Cost an arm and a leg, but happy to support you fellas on the United Stand. Appreciate the hard work you put in. Merry Christmas. Let's get on my level. Crimson Acolyte says, difference is Shaw's an experienced player and Laird is a kid. You're back again with your biased adoration of Shaw, who looks lost and is bang average. Hey, mate, it's all about opinion. I'm just going to smile at your comment. It's all about opinion. I like Luke Shaw. Hashtag deal with it. I think Matic is shit. You probably love him. You probably want to have his kids. It's all about opinion. What's your height? Says Cope. 6 foot. Which people never believe, but I am 6 foot. It's a fact. I'm just going to check the link in the video description. Costs an arm and a leg. I don't think that they are that expensive. Let me have a look. Obviously, I got sent mine for free. 25 quid for a Christmas jumper. I think that's reasonable. Maybe it's the shipping costs worldwide, but get 2 and then your shipping costs will come down. Link in the video description for that. Anyway, it's kicking off. It's kicked off. Ref's kicked off. He's caught us on the old op there. But here we go then. There will be a match reaction show afterwards with player ratings, so you can join me for that. United looking to play high up the pitch. It's interesting because the way United have played, it's been more of a 4-1-4-1 with Levitt. It's a bit like the way United used to play in the first. Well, it's not actually. Astana on the attack here anyway. Into the box they go. Cross comes in. Cross comes in and it's gone for a corner. Mark, why do you always read out that Joker Zane's chats when he supports Arsenal? Read out our comments, says Cameron DeVries. Because they're super chats, mate. So the super chats, obviously, if people are paying to make a chat or ask a question, we do read them out. That's just the way it goes. Cross comes in, headed wide. Oh, the Shaw overweight comments have come out. You horrible people. Adrian Davies says, Mark, where did you get the 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper from, mate? Link in the video description. We're selling it. So you can get it for Christmas. It's available worldwide. But Astana up against Luke Shaw. He's done well there. There's too much Shaw hate, says Toby Safa. Stephen Wright says he loves me. Thank you very much. Emery says, good evening. Mark, do you think Williams' place will be limited since Shaw is back, says Pablo? Well, Williams is obviously playing against Villa. There's no way that Luke Shaw... Oh, God, nearly an own goal there from Bernard. Cross comes in. Grant gives him a good ear in the shoulder. That is superb by Grant, really, because the cross comes in for the defender and he sort of he's very lucky that that's not an own goal. Very lucky. He swings at it and it goes over the bar, and Grant just gives him a bit of a confidence in his ear because Astana have started off quite well. You missed my last super chat, Mark, says get on my level. I thought I read it out. I remember reading a get on my level one. Sorry about that. What's my opinion on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says Finley Simon. You know what it is? I think when you make a new signing, everybody lives up their backside because they're like, oh, they're brand new. They're brilliant. They're absolutely superb. We love them. Okay? So that's what happens, right? I think then, when you get used to your new toy, people start to go, oh yeah, well, he should have done better there. And I think that's what's happened with Wan-Bissaka and Maguire. Dan James, it's not really happened with yet, although it did a little bit in September. But with Wan-Bissaka and Maguire, because they're not new anymore, people are starting to get critical with them as they become more established and get used to them. For me, my opinion on Wan-Bissaka is, I can't remember a fullback United have had for many years that I'm so confident with when he's in a one-on-one situation. Defensively, I think he's brilliant. Going forward, got a lot to learn, but defensively, he's brilliant, and that's what I think about Wan-Bissaka. I have so much confidence in him. But Astana have started off well this second half. Header straight at Grant there. So yeah, this game is sort of, it's following a path where United were really high up here, could have been 3 or 4-0 up in the first 20 minutes, and gradually they're dropping off a little bit, and Astana are starting to come back into it. If I was United, with the pace that they've got, I'd be looking on the break. That's a terrible bit of control by Chong there, and we have won the throw-in, but he's got a lot of space there to move into and either run with it or play a pass, and he ends up losing it. This is going to be a good test for the youngsters, the South African Red. I think second half it is. I agree with you. I think it is. I've really enjoyed this game. So is everyone putting their Christmas tree up at this weekend? You don't have to be a Christian to put your Christmas tree up. I know Hindus, Muslims celebrate Christmas because, to be honest with you, Christmas is a weird one, isn't it? When I was at school, I went to a Church of England school. You had your nativity play with Mary and Joseph, and and that's what, Christmas, birth of Christ, but it's also the birth of Santa, isn't it? Quite literally, the commercialisation of Christmas. So we never used to put our Christmas tree up until like December the 12th for the 12 days of Christmas, but now it's always December the 1st. So Sunday, Bloody Sunday, will be when I put my Christmas tree up. Not Bloody Sunday in relation to what you two sang about, but Sunday, Bloody Sunday, really encapsulates the boredom of a Sunday, doesn't it? Classic Partridge there, but hey, that would be a good Christmas jumper. I should get Robbie. To do that as a Christmas jumper. I've got to give him a shout out, the person who said it. Gunners81. There's a jumper there. We've got 5 Cantonars. They can have Emery Christmas. Emery Christmas. You get it. Emery Christmas. That would be a brilliant Christmas jumper. Apart from the fact it would be rival fans buying it and not Arsenal fans. I'll love it if a big face of Emery there. Emery Christmas. I'm still here. Good evening. I'm still here. And Merry Christmas. I'm still here. That would be brilliant. Garner's doing well, Joe Happel. I mean, look, let's remember that this is men against boys, and Levitt and Garner are running that midfield. What I was going to say is this formation in the second half is quite similar to the way we played the first 3 months under Ollie. Garner's sitting, Lingard and Levitt are playing more box to box, which is the first time I've seen us do this for a long, long time. I'm not going to print out Emery Christmas jumpers because I reckon he's going to. I did a video on That's Football today. I think Emery will be sacked soon, very soon. I think he's one draw away, not even a loss. I think a draw away from the sack. Lingard losing the ball there, typically in the number 10 position, in a good position, and that'll go out for a throw into United. Is Shaw a lost cause? Says Brandon Holland. You do realise Luke Shaw won like Player of the Month 3 times last year, 2 or 3 times. He's not a lost cause, no. He might be a player that we have to look at moving on because of injury, but he's not a lost cause. I think Luke Shaw, when he's fit, is a very good left back. He's not on the level of a Ben Chilwell, but he's a good left back. Mark, I know you don't like converting players, but what about Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a CDM, allowing overlapping defender like Ethan to offer us more going forward? Well, Ethan Laird's miles off the DMG studio. He's miles off being ready. He's not ready to be in the first team yet. Maybe in a year or two. But there are some people, myself included, who said back in May, why go and spend £50 million on a right back when you've got you've got Delo and Laird coming through. But, you know, Wan-Bissaka was ready for now, wasn't he? I think Ethan Laird needs to go on loan for a season next season. That's what I think. And Astana, ooh, just wide. United players diving in, but it has just gone wide. And they're definitely more of a threat this half, Astana, as they try to get back into it. I think at the moment, United could do with that second goal. Mike Danger 7 doesn't rate Lingard at all. Well, we spoke about Ollie in or Ollie out in the first half. Whilst we're watching this game, get in the live comments. What do you think about Lingard and his future at United? Not what you want. Luke Shaw! Oh, what a miss! What a miss by Chong. Luke Shaw should have had an assist. And now Chong's going to get absolutely mullered by that. Oh, no. Luke Shaw's could have had an assist. Could have had 2 assists. And Chong, what a prat. Oh, my life. Well, I like Chong, but he's going to get pelters for that. You know what? If that's Lukaku or Lingard, you're absolutely... Oh, and they've gone up the other end and scored! Oh, Chong has just gone and doubled his money. Not only is he going to get into trouble for missing, they've gone up the other end and equalised. Oh, Chongy. Chongy. What have you done? United literally had an open goal. He put it over the bar and Astana have gone up the other end and scored. That's football. We're not going to rant, but I'm in the Chong fan club because I know what social media is like. They're going to absolutely bury a kid here. They're going to destroy Chong. And he has missed an absolute sitter. I would say Chong, what a prat, in a comedy way. But the goal itself, Bernard, it's unlucky. He gets across, shoots through his legs, and it's low past Grant. You can't. I don't know whether Grant should do a little bit better there, but it's 1-1. Unbelievable how football, can compound a miss. I was watching Valencia last night, and they missed some right sitters, but that Chong one was the worst of the lot. And then Astana go up the other end, and you worry about Chong and think, these things knocking your confidence when you're young. Like I say, like I'm sure social media is going to absolutely hang him out to dry because that's what they do. It's bad when you miss. It's even bad when you miss an open goal and then they go up the other end and score. But it's 1-1, and to be fair, Astana in this second half have been a lot better than the first half. But United should have had the game wrapped up. Poor old Chongy. I tell you what, in relation to Chong and Gomez though, I have been saying this. I said it in the summer. They need to go on loan. They need to be playing first team football now. Chong and Gomez need to play football now. Not, you can travel with the first team. We're off to Bournemouth. You won't even be on the bench, but you can enjoy the bus drive. No, they need to be whack them in the Championship. Send them to Millwall. Let them sink or swim, because that's what I feel about that. The abuse on Jones over his sad comment is pathetic, says Charlie Welsh. Chong needs a loan ASAP after that, says Daniel Jugo. Well, I would agree with that. I think Chong needs to play week in, week out. Would you sign Haaland and a centre attacking midfielder in January, says Sandro Rodriguez? As long as we get a midfielder, I'll sign Haaland as well. I still like Chong. I hope we keep him. I see a player in him, says Charles Crane. I do. I agree with you, Charles, and we will be in the minority. But I've always seen a player in Chong. I do. I think he's got the raw essentials. The way he glides on the ball. I think he'll get physically bigger. I think there's a player in Chong as well. And what people don't really appreciate is that not all young players come in and are brilliant straight away. Some of them, they come in, they're sort of a bit like that, and then suddenly they're good. And I think there's a player in Chong, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did let him go, and he did go on to be a really good player. And we've got to be careful of that. Daniel Brinley says, do you think Nicky Butt being there has influenced how we are playing today, tactics-wise, and should he be involved with the first team on match day? I prefer the way that United have played today, if I'm honest with you. EC again. Alexi saying that Chong is the worst player in the academy. Oh yeah, do you go and watch the academy all the time? Because I tell you what, you're wrong. He consistently, since he's come back from his knee injury just over a year ago, he's been one of the best players in the academy. So you're wrong. Safe Raymond says, drawing to Astana, laugh my arse off. Oh my God. Everyone's laughing at you, Safe. This is our youth team playing Astana. What's to laugh about? He probably thinks this is our first team. He's probably probably watches one game a week. Doesn't even know. He probably supports City and never watches them. Thinks, I know, I will go and have a take the piss out of United. Oh, look, United are drawing with Astana. Got no concept that this isn't our first team. Good one, Safe. You're safe. And Levitt is quality, says Oscar Barrett. And Alexander says, well, the first team wouldn't do a lot better. This game at the moment will go the way that I predicted. I predicted United would lose 2-1, didn't I? iPasta says United need to play like the first half. I think, well defended by Shaw there. Let's not forget, Luke Shaw would have had 2 assists as well if Chong could finish his dinner. I don't think United can play like they did in the first 20 minutes because I think they're getting tired. They're all young lads, aren't they? I think they're getting tired now. We need a sub, says Jim Jones. Well, remember, Jim and everybody, all the subs are young. Very, very young indeed. What happens if we lose, Mark? Says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Nothing. We've already qualified from the group, so I don't know whether we. You raise a good point, though. I don't know whether if we can probably not finish top of the group, which I would imagine is not a good thing. Yeah, so AZ Alkmaar can definitely beat us for top. Does anyone in the live comments know what it means to finish top or second in the Europa League? Because remember, you do get teams dropping down from the Champions League as well. So are we more likely to play an Inter or a Dortmund if they drop down from the Champions League if we finish second in our group? Or is it just an all-out draw? I don't know in the Europa League. I don't know whether there is any seeding. Said Jamie, nice to hear from you, mate. Would rather finish top of the group and get an easy draw. Well, he's just said that. I don't know how it works. And Heel Hook says you don't play a team who's dropped down if you finish first. Well, the opportunity, maybe the AZ Alkmaar game will be quite an important one then, because that will decide who finishes top or not. So maybe he'll put a stronger team out in that. Rare Videos says, I just signed on, Mark. Do you think Lingard will get praise for the goal? Good goal for your confidence builder. Rare. Oh my life. It's 2-1. And he's playing a violin. Astana score. And I think this is the flip side of playing the youth, is that they need to keep their heads up. I predicted we would lose this game, so I'm not massively bothered about losing. It's just a lucky goal. Crosses it back, hits Bernard in the face and goes in. And I feel for it. He nearly scored an own goal already, and now he has scored an own goal. And, you know, somebody just needs to grab hold of him now. Like Lingard should run straight over to him. That's what your captaincy is all about, and say, it happens. It happens. You know, it happens. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But they have... What I said at half-time has come to pass. The fitness of a men's team is destroying our young players, because in the first 20 minutes, you thought the game could be 10-0. And then, since half-time, we've looked very, very tired. And that's because they are just young lads at the end of the day. That's what they are. And that's why we're struggling a little bit. But they'll get no criticism from me. And I don't think they'll get any criticism from a lot of the fans. It's a young side. That's what it is. And I predicted we would lose 2-1. And I warned everybody before this that we are not the favourites in this game. And what we did in the first 20 minutes was actually really, really good. And it's youth football at the end of the day. You know, Bernard is a teenager centre-back playing against men. That's what he's doing. And I go back to what I said in the first half. Astana, probably a League 2 side. Salford are a League 2 side. If United's youth team went to Salford at the weekend, they'd probably lose. So there's no shame in what's happening here. I don't think. But I don't know whether United have got anything to get back in the game. They seem a little bit. They do seem a little bit lost at the moment. Losing the midfield battle as well, but yeah, it's hard. I was very excited about Ollie doing this, but Mellor's coming on now for Chong. You won't be happy about that. Don't worry, young man. Phil Jones does things like that every game. Chin up, says Alligator. Fair point. Ciprino says, doesn't matter who we play next, easy or difficult, if our goal is to win the cup. And our first team are incapable of putting in a 90-minute performance, so to ask our reserves to do it is simply asking too much, says Jordan Such. And Zayn Miasi says, haha. Well, I genuinely don't feel any anger to us losing this game because I predicted we would. It was just a free hit to play the youth, wasn't it? So I'm not angry about United losing. I'm not Ollie out at all. Chong's gone off. But Astana are starting to go through the gears now and United are starting to drop off. So what we do not want to see is us getting beat 4 or 5-1. We don't want to see that. So Mellor's come on for Chong. So it's another young player to take a look at. There's Luke Shaw coming forward again. Flex is in goal, says Alan P. United are battling like troopers, says Antonio. And let's not forget, as much as we're losing 2-1, and we are losing 2-1, if Chong scores that tap-in, 2-0, game's over, isn't it? So it's fine margins as it always is. Do you put any blame on Ollie for this? Few people saying Ollie out, he's a loser. I think if we'd won 5-0, would people have said I'm Ollie in now? I mean, what do you learn from a team that's never going to play for the first team this season? Then this is never going to represent us in a game that matters. It's a free hit game, an opportunity. That's what it always has been. And have the tactics been that bad from Ollie? I don't know. I will read the comments. Ollie out. He's got tactically outclassed by the Astana manager, says Alexi. All the Ollie outs are plastic, says United 2020. Thank God Chong is off, says like 30 Archive. United are a joke. They run things as if they are just a new football club form, says Latif. And I've never been Ollie in and I haven't seen anything to suggest I'm wrong, says Grand 33. Lingard, blocked shot. Lingard. No. I think Lingard's not been that good second half, to be fair. Chong. Oh, there was an offside there. Not Chong, it was Shaw. I don't care if we lose 4-1. I'm disappointed with Lingard with those long-range shots. Should have done better or created chances for the strikers, says Sean D. I think Lingard started off well in the first 20 minutes, but he has definitely dropped off. It's not... I mean, look, in the player ratings, which I do in the match reaction, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. Unless Lingard has an amazing 20 minutes, I'm going to give him 6 top, even though he scored a goal. Captain of the team, playing against the crap team. 2 years ago, people were talking about him being one of England's best players. He's just not grabbing older games enough. Well, here he is now. Tackled again. Well, they said it's a foul. And he's down injured. To be fair, they might be young, but look how good the Chelsea kids are playing at similar ages, says Jacob Goulburn. No. What are you on about? What Chelsea youngsters are you on about? Tamori, who was on loan in the Championship last year. Abraham, who was on loan in the Championship last year. Mount, who was on loan in the Championship last year. Reece James, who was on loan in the Championship last year. Chelsea's youth's better than United's, but let's not pretend there's any comparison. These youngsters of United are just United youth. They've not been on loan anywhere. Zayn Miassi must be a troll. All he does is come here daily and critique our team. Chong should hold his head high, but no excuse to miss such a sitter, says Jermaine Grant. To be honest, they might be young, but look how good... Yeah, Jacob, we've just done that one, haven't we? And Nagagan says, Mark, your commentary is 3 seconds earlier than the telecast here in Singapore, so technically I hear the goal from you before they score in front of me on the telly. An awkward feeling. Yeah, we're bang on today. We're bang on today. I mean, I know that what I'm saying to you, you're hearing it probably 3 seconds after I'm saying it, because I can tell by the live comments how quickly people are reacting to things I'm doing. Give it time. That's the line. Give it time. Give it time. That's all we want. We can't whine. I didn't even get my words out. Mark, from what I've seen, Chong will not cut it, says Brian Murphy. But he doesn't have to cut it at Manchester United. My frustration with Chong is he should be on bloody loan. He should be on loan. And can I just say, what's Angel Gomez done in this game? What has he done? Nothing. I don't remember Gomez doing anything in this game. And I like Gomez. But what I'm saying is, everyone's going in on Chong. What's Gomez done that's any better than Chong? Apart from Chong missed the sitter that he should have scored. But Gomez has been very quiet as well. So, Lingard's been awful. Apart from the goal. Greenwood's been starved of service this second half. So, it's not been an all-round great performance from United. I think to individually start picking on kids is wrong. Chong needs to go on loan. That's what I'm not saying Chong should be playing for United. No, nowhere near. But he should be on loan. We're wasting some of our young players, keeping them when they're 20, when they should be on loan. They need to get out on loan. That's what needs to happen. Because if you don't give Chong a new contract and he goes to, I don't know, Juventus, and in a year he's one of the best players in Juventus, Zayn Miasi's now banging his drums. He's happy. Well, yeah, you probably want to lose to Eintracht Frankfurt tonight, because then Emery gets the sack. I hope you win. I hope you beat Norwich and Brighton and Eintracht Frankfurt. Emery Christmas. We want Emery Christmas. We want him there. Luke Shaw comes forward here into Gomez. Mark, do you think we can get back to the top of world football with the Glazers as owners? Happy Thanksgiving from America. Love the show, says Daniel Jugo. No, I don't, because all the Glazers want to do is take your money. They don't want to spend the money like Man City do to be successful. They want to spend, but they want to pocket money as well. Here's Lingard. 20 minutes to go. Some fans should relax. This pretty much is friendly, says Lispering Champ. I think what you're seeing now is it's just the physicality and fitness of a senior men's side overpowering a young side, isn't it? Lingard, another long shot, another miss, but it's gone for a corner. No, do you think we should have appointed Brendan Rodgers? Says Brandley Hornby. Well, he won't come to us if I'm honest. Give him time, give him time. It's a free hit, so let's have some bread and wine, says Shiram Sundasi. I've got a new one. Give him time, give him time. It's Christmas, let's have some wine. What's that? No, give him time, give him time. Mistletoe and Christmas wine. Mistletoe and wine, isn't it? There's got to be a line with give him time and mistletoe and wine. Give him time, mistletoe and wine. It's not as good as we're back in 1989. Astana on the break here. Levitt's missed it. And they might get a third. Oh, and he's put it wide. Good technique, but they should have had a third there. Caught us on the break. Fans' high expectations of the youths have a lot to do with Ollie's pre-season sentiments of our youths are good and they will play a part. Yeah, I think that is a very good point. I'm going to talk about it in my match reaction. Very good point indeed. Thank you for making that point. Did I shout you out for saying it? Jermaine Grant. I didn't. Well done, Jermaine Grant. Corner to Astana. And they're winning all the headers, but they're just crap at them. Can United get back in this game? I tell you what, I do predict a lot of accurate predicted scores. Another shot that's just gone wide. I said Astana 2-1. I'm also going when the games matter. And remember, we've got a massive 6 days from Sunday. Villa at home, Mourinho at home, and then Pep away. 3 massive games for United. And I think we'll take 4 points. We'll beat Villa, we'll draw with Spurs, and we'll lose to City. Future comment, give him time, give him time. It's only 2029. That's Alligator there. I like it. I like it. And Zayn Miassi, Mark, I think Ollie was a great player, but I think he will go down as United's worst ever manager. I don't know. I think you've still got to do a lot to get pushed past Moyes. But United are on the attack here. Here's Gomez. Should have fed that out to Lingard, but we've got a free kick on the edge of the box. And it's a good opportunity for this. Sean D says, which debutant has impressed you the most? Thoughts on Levitt? Shaw needs serious game time, by the way. Super rusty. Yeah, he is rusty. He's very rusty. I think Levitt's at the moment looking like my man of the match, Sean D. But if people in the live comments want to give us theirs as well. So a good opportunity for United this. A free kick on the edge of the box. Gomez is on it. Lingard is on it. Will he use that captaincy? Ollie can't win. Play first team players and get criticised for using them and not the youth, or use the youth in a game that means nothing and still get abuse, says Chizzy 629. I think that's a very fair point, to be honest with you. Moyes was better than Ollie, says Dante Roa. I don't know. Felipe says Lingard hasn't got the techers to score this. I tell you what, the wall is so far back. Gomez. Oh, it's a good save. Good save. Good free kick from Gomez and a great save by their keeper. Could have been 2-2. Decent effort, says Dici. It was a good effort. If he had got it another metre the other way, it might have been going in, but it was a good effort from Gomez. And he would have done something. In a game where a lot of our front players, again, have not really done anything in the second half. It's been a little bit disappointing in that sense. Lingard mocks it in short. United are pushing here. I think we could do it. I think we could do it, lads and ladies. We can do this. We got this shit. Got it on lockdown. We can do it. The reason I'm looking at my phone is I'm having a few problems. And another shot from United there, and it'll be another corner. And I tell you what, it was Greenwood that time. Good save. Gomez with the cross, and Greenwood. You could say he could have done better. Give him time, at least till we're singing Old Lang Syne, says Sused L3. That's a good one. Give him time, we'll be good by 2029, says Crossers 101. Keep them coming. I've never been so calm when United is losing. Bernard and Chong have looked good. Chin up, lads, says Shian Sundar Singh. You're going to get loads of hate for that. Zane, if you're reading this, donate me $100, says Glenn Goodwin. Right, can I just try and get us to 585,000 subscribers, please? Just one final push. This was our challenge for this afternoon's stream. We're on 584,000 subscribers. The only change is every 1,000 subscribers now. We are 20 subscribers away from 585. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Live every night at 8 o'clock. Fan cams, call-ins, match reactions, previews, transfer news. Loads on the United Stand. Real fan opinion for real fans. Please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. You won't regret it. I can't believe we even get new people on this channel now. Where have you been for the last 4 years? The United Stand is the place to be. Subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Massive 6 days coming up. Well, 7 days really. Villa, Spurs, Man City. It's big, and we're really looking forwad to it. Guy Pico has just subscribed. Thank you very much. And we've just changed the number as well. So Guy, you were one of those subscribers. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Lingard, stick to JD Sports advert, mates. So poor, Brian Murphy. I tell you what, Brian. Let's run a test. I'm at Mark Goldbridge on Twitter. I'm just going to say, I'm going to tweet out something about Lingard. Although he's just gotten into a little bit of a fight there, so people will be like going, "Go on, Jesse! Go on, Jesse! You did a bit of a fight move. Go on, Jesse!" I don't think it's been good enough from him, to be honest. But what am I? What am I to say? So, 10 minutes to go. Can United get back into this and pull out a win? Probably not. Probably not. But we could get a draw. I think that would be really good if we can do that. Ten minutes to go. Come on. I think it'd be just great for the youngsters to not lose. I mean, Greenwood had a good chance there. He hit it quite well. It was a good save. Silence there. Let's have a look what people are saying in the live comments. Matt Rush, still a chance, Mark. Remember Sheffield United. Yeah, we've still got a chance. And Aldo Rain, thank you for the contribution. Simon Folkford says, give him time, give him time. Soon Phil Jones will be our number 9. And give him time, give him time. Lingard is still only 9, says Ramsey United. Yeah, we've done that from Matt Rush as well. Lingard's agendas are pathetic. Yes, he hasn't been good for a long time, but every player tries to run it around. He's got a goal today, and we all want to ignore it. If he doesn't score, it's 2-0 to Astana, says Exposed Tube. I just don't. I expect more from Jesse Lingard. I'm sorry. He's on a lot of money, and he's the captain of the team, and he's playing as the number 10, and he's playing against a pub team. I expect more. I'm sorry. I think. You know, if you want to go in on Luke Shaw, and a lot of you are, I'm going to go in on Lingard. If you think Shaw should be doing more, even though he's been out for 3 months, that's your opinion. I think Jesse Lingard, he hasn't had an injury. He's been dropped by England. He's been awful for 8 months, and today he scored a good goal. But apart from that, I haven't seen enough from a player that doesn't seem to want to take the responsibility of the ball. Unless he's got space to run into, he doesn't really want to do anything with it. He doesn't want to demand it. He doesn't want to get involved in 50-50s. He doesn't want to dribble against people. He's not got the eye of a pass, which we know he hasn't actually physically got anyway. So why won't Rodgers come to United? He was fired at Liverpool. Why are you worried Poch doesn't play wingers when his way has been largely successful, says Biggie Third? Because United's always been a team about playing wingers, hasn't it? Right, Garner's coming off and Ramazani's coming on. So we could go for it. I have literally never seen a good performance from Chong, says Nimal Banerjee. And Lingard is low on confidence now, says Tiano. Gomez free kick. I just think we... I do think there is a question about the fitness levels of Manchester United, though, and I do think, you know, because it's the youth, you know, we will probably hide behind it a little bit. But again, another second half, and the contrast between the first and second half is not lost on me, and I'm sure it's not lost on any of you lot. The fitness levels are just not there, and we're struggling. Kean Brady says, I feel sorry for Flex and other United fans that pay good money to go to away games just to watch that crap. Owen J says, give him time. I'm not reading that, Owen J. I'm not reading that because it mentions a paedophile, and I'm not gonna glorify that in a joke, unfortunately. 2-2, please, says Passenger Lovers. 5 minutes to go, everybody. What are your general thoughts? Give us them. Give me those general thoughts on this game in general. Mark, we need to make Lingard captain again. We're so much better with him, says Belen Prajas. I hope you're joking, Belen. I really do. I really, really do. Looking forward to doing the player ratings. Yes, I am. Somebody said I bet you're not. I am. I don't. You know, I think with youth players, you know, there's an element of patience, of course, and you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But for me, I like doing the player ratings. I rate them on the performance, nothing else. Which is probably not a bad idea, is it? It's a long road. It's definitely a long road at Manchester United. I can tell you that for free. It's going to be a long road. I can't read. I can read. You can read. So Astana, 3 minutes to go. I think this is looking now like United probably are going to run out of a bit of time here. There's going to be a yellow card for Lingard, who just seems to have lost his head a little bit over the last few moments. He's definitely put, you know, to be fair, he's definitely put his foot in, but other than that, I don't personally think it's been a great performance from Lingard. Not enough of a performance from Lingard as far as I'm concerned. And Goldbridge is coming on for Gomez now. Two minutes to go. And there probably won't be a hell of a lot of stoppage time, if I'm honest with you, but we'll see. And you know what? In the context of things, let's not forget it's a goal that's been scored by an own goal that has put them ahead. I don't think anybody would, we'd be wrong to pretend that United couldn't have won this game. I think if Chong makes it 2-1, it's a very different game. So you've got to be realistic to that as well, haven't you? Does it have any big ramifications? I don't really think so, if I'm honest with you. I think that United have they've done what they've not. It's a young team. We're going to hide behind that because it's true. It is a young team, and I'm putting the ball into the box there. A long shot from Levitt, and it just goes wide. It is a young team, and it's done reasonably well. I said this before. I predicted 2-1, and I didn't say it in a way where, we're going to lose, we're rubbish. It was never about that. I just felt that I actually thought Astana were a little bit better than they are. I think that first 20 minutes, we could have put this game to bed. Fitness is a problem. I probably would like to retract my previous comment saying, well, you know what, we're a young team, that's always going to hurt us with fitness. I think we are a team that is struggling with fitness in general. I really do, and I think that is a problem. Give him time. The special one's back and vengeance will be mine, says Alligator, acting as Mourinho. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have got our match reaction coming up for you straight after this. We'll have player ratings. We've had 3 minutes added on. Can United get an equaliser in this game? I'm just putting the link in the video description for you for the match reaction. Thanks for everyone who's subscribed to the channel if you're new, by the way. We have a match reaction straight after the game where we do player ratings and talk about the game and I suppose the bigger picture from this game. So we'll be doing that straight afterwards. We've only got about a minute and a half left, and I don't think United are going to end up getting the result. We have got some content coming up for you from Astana as well, some fan cams, some interviews from Flex, who's been over there in Kazakhstan in the snow. So yeah, do join us in for that. Looking forward to that as well. But all in all, it's looking like United will lose this game. If you want to get your Christmas jumpers, by the way, one last shout out. The link's in the video description. They're available worldwide. 5 Cantonars, 5 Cantonars. They're kids, but they're not 4-year-old. Says Gerton Winelgan. Should be able to handle 90 minutes. And Ollie binding behind the youth. What a disgrace, Mark, says Dano Jr. Ollie's going to get it, isn't he? Regardless, Ollie will get some criticism. It's just the way of the world. About 50 seconds left. United are on the attack. Since you started the United stand, is this the worst we've been since then? Says Kean Brady. Yeah, I think so. I think we are. No, not tonight. I mean, I'll talk about tonight, but in the general picture, I have said this for a few weeks now, that United are in the worst position they've been in since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, without question. This is worse than it was under Moyes. The position we're in and the vision we have of the future is the most worrying. That doesn't mean you need to be Ollie out, of course, but it is a concern. Of course it's a concern, and I'd be a lie to say not. But referee is about to blow up. In fact, he has blown up. Thanks everybody for watching. The link is in the video description. I'm going to go straight over onto the match reaction, and we will be live in literally a minute, probably 30 seconds, because everything's set up. So link in the video description. We're going to have player ratings, man of the match, thoughts on... I think there's a problem with people in the shirt there, and they've homed in on Jesse Lingard. I don't think it was good enough. I know that's controversial, but we'll talk about that. Link in the video description, top line. I'll see you there in a moment. Thanks everyone for watching on this stream. I'll join me on the next one in 30 seconds. Link in the video description. I've gone very grey on this stream. I don't know what's gone wrong there.